Welcome back, everybody, to the greatest party in town, because we're there and about to ruin everything. It's gonna be great.
Yup.
It'll just be whoever fails a roll really badly first. Like, that's it.
You're just so far, it's like win, win, win.
We're just on this incredibly thin ice, and then it'll be like, yeah, someone will fail, and then it'll go.
Teamwork rolls, my friend. Teamwork rolls.
That's right. That's what saved your bacon there.
Yeah, totally.
So, Cantor, as you're approaching, you notice, and you guys all see this from your vantage point, the serving staff, I forgot to mention this detail, it's kind of important. As you approach the group with Linnea, a servant has just passed, they have a tray of drinks, or sort of pre-cocktails. There'll probably be a bar and stuff later, but Linnea and the people with her take stuff, and they turn to come down that little short staircase towards you as you're going up at them.
Mm-hmm.
And you see they're not masked. They're wearing these sort of traditional butler suits. They have the Dunville blue waistcoats with the crest like brocaded into them. And they're really nice, but the person has these sunken eyes. They're the full black shark eyes, these like pitted, sunken cheeks, gaunt cheeks. Their skin on their hands is like taut, like mummified almost across their hands.
Apparently, Norwegian black metal is really big in Duskwall this year.
Yeah, they're wearing these chains around their necks, and they have spirit bottles hanging from them. These are very fancy ones. You've seen like a traditional crystal one, but these are all inlaid with silver, and they have a little Dunville crest on them and stuff. And they have this soft turquoisey light drifting inside it, which means they're occupied. And you know what this is. Like, this is a thing in Duskwall. Like, we haven't really talked about it much, but people can be hollows.
Yeah.
Hollows are people whose spirits have been taken out of their body, but they're not. Their body is alive. And yeah, hulls are clockwork bodies that spirits get put into. So both of those things exist. Hulls are very rare, but hollows are not super rare. But having them as servants is pretty strange and creepy. Controlling them is.
Have you seen my roommates?
Yeah.
I'm not.
This doesn't bother you.
Like, cool. We should do something about this. Maybe we do have a use for all of those people who are getting all mutated by those drugs after all.
Yeah.
Make them serve me drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so
cool.
He passes you, and you come up, and Linnea, she didn't just go back to the conversation. She turned. She's watching you. She watches you come up the stairs. She watches you pass the guy, and as you approach behind the wheelchair guy, she's just looking at you like,
yeah. She's stunned. She forgot how hot her boyfriend is because she hasn't seen me in like 2 or 3 hours. So she's like, "Damn, he's handsome." So this you were saying that this servant has like a tray with like drinks or whatever.
Yeah.
Does Linnea already have a drink?
No.
Okay, well then I will grab.
You put an empty one down, and
I will grab 2 off the tray as I walk by.
Nice.
And while she's still too stunned to do or say anything, I will like put the drink out to her to see like when she takes it, and then once I have my arm free, I will slip it around her waist and be like,
"Oh God!"
Be like, "Hey girl, what's up? I didn't know you were gonna be at this thing."
They're just letting everybody in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're consorting. Clearly. And this is a risky situation for you.
I just want I want that desperate XP. I'm digging myself a hole
so
as deep as I can make it.
We can make it desperate. We'll
get there. We'll get there. We don't have to jump to desperation right away. I'm just saying I'm angling for it.
We can jump to desperation right away if you... Actually, I don't know.
No, it doesn't. It's not desperate yet. I'm gonna. The thing is, I'm just pushing my luck, right? Like, 'cause the whole Cantor's whole thing here is that, like,
yeah, you're pushing it.
I'm totally out of my element, and as we've seen time and time again, when Cantor doesn't know what to do, he just goes too hard, right? It's just like too much. Where I'm like, oh, I'm getting attention. I better be really fucking ostentatious. It's all like just bravado engine now, because if I were to hesitate or falter, then people will be like, oh, he's boring. Never mind. But I have to keep being like, look at how much I give a shit about your social conventions. I'm touching this person. So,
yes. Right. It would be desperate if you were like, and also you were like, so who are you guys? What are you here for?
We'll get there.
And like sort of
I don't care about them yet. I'll ask her. I'll be like, who your
dig
friends,
it into
baby?
their business would be desperate. But yeah,
she can do that for me.
Yeah. Okay. Risky consort. It sounds like to me.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't think you have any help here. If you want to let that devil's bargain ride, I mean, it's not on the table again. You skated by without implicating Linnea, but if you want to throw that back on the table, you can get that die again.
Yeah, totally. Because if I figure the thing is that if it fails anyway, I'm gonna have a easier chance convincing her to help me dig my way out of the hole than if they throw me into the proverbial hole without her. If she's in the bottom, then I got somebody to boost me up, right?
That's right.
So it's all good. We're doing this thing.
I don't want to be on the bottom by myself.
Yeah, I don't want to be in this social hole alone. So yes, I will happily invite her in with me.
Okay.
So let's do it.
She's essentially helping you.
Same thing. 2d6, keep 1.
Yeah. Yep.
Bam. Oh, that's not good. That's fucking terrible.
Finally
No.
Comes home to roost.
Now are we? I'm glad this is not the desperate roll.
I want it. At least I would have got an XP. Curses. Curses. Well, it was good while it lasted, everybody.
Yeah. Did you promise us you were gonna fuck it all up?
Blades in the dark, everyone.
All right.
So.
Things go badly. You suffer harm? No. Complication occurs? Probably. You end up in a desperate position? Definitely. You lose this opportunity for action?
Okay.
Several of those apply here.
I was going to say, no, we don't lose the opportunity for action. There's always the opportunity for action.
This opportunity. There will be another.
So I'm saying, when we're down at the bottom of that hole, I could be like, so while we're down here. All right.
Yeah, so
how does everybody respond? Do I get a lot of like...
Yeah, it's two things. One, I'll narrate it, but just so we're clear, you are going to lose the ability to consort with this group of people here. You tried and they're like, no.
They're so kind, but that's all I got.
I don't think that's all you got.
And the complication on Linnea's involvement with it is gonna be the real problem here. So you just get cold looks. Dunville gives you this like steely-eyed glare. He doesn't have a mask really, so you can see his face. And you've seen this on plenty of dudes in your life.
Say, this is a look that I'm so used to. Like, I'm not like, oh no, he's looking. I'm like,
Arcee looks at kids like this all the time.
Yeah,
this is like her regular look.
He's giving me the Arcee. Great.
So
giving me the RC. That's gonna be a thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not go over well. Linnea she just kind of goes stiff for a second, and then like because of the devil's bargain here, I'm going to say like she goes with it. She doesn't like get away from me. She puts her arm around you too and sort of squeezes you in a little bit. And she leans down and she's like, "What are you doing here?"
I love when the player knows the roll was a fail, but the character doesn't perceive it that way. I'm like, oh yeah, getting some squeeze action. This fucking stuck up motherfucker's looking at me funny. Everything's going great. And then she says, she leans in and she's like, "What are you doing here?"
He's like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah. If you have a chance to like say something under your breath to her if you want.
I don't not even under my breath. I'm like, I just gesture around. I'm like, "It's a party, baby," and I like clink my glass on hers. I'm like, "What?"
Oh god! You wanted to move the clock of getting her to like you. Like,
yeah, that's all that matters. I don't care. The heist will be fine. Y'all will do that thing. This is not. It's fine. Creepy boy's got it.
All right. So, first complication is speaking of clocks, I'm making a getting thrown out of the party clock.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go ahead and tick that. Let's make it a 4.
Ooh. They don't have much patience for.
Are we trying to go to 0 or to 6? Just checking.
It's counting to midnight.
Yeah, you're getting it's 4 pieces and 1 is filled, and when they're filled, you get thrown out. due to too much disruption of the proceedings. So the manifestation of that is Dunville gives you this look that in your world means a guy's about to get violent. But what he does instead is he says, "I don't believe I've had the pleasure." And he gives you this really pointed look like, "You're supposed to tell me your name now, sir." He doesn't say that. He just says, "I don't believe you've had the pleasure." And his jaw kind of clenched. And so just to be clear here, you can tell like you haven't offended him because of social norms. He's not that. He's a Leviathan Hunter captain. He's not that delicate. He doesn't like the fact that some dude just came up and started manhandling Linnea.
Is he being, and maybe, I don't know, maybe Cantor is not capable of perceiving such a thing, but is this you're acting improprietously towards this person, or like, get your hands off of my woman, motherfucker kind of thing?
You wanna read him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Roll your study.
All right. I'm so fucking studious. You don't even know. I've got studiousness for days.
So it's a fortune roll here. We'll roll to see how much you can read him. A very little bit or a lot.
Okay. Yeah, right. What's this guy's problem?
Pretty good. Okay. You can ask a question with some good details, and I think that's so. You already asked.
That's my question, right? It's like, yeah, where's this coming from? It's going to determine my response.
Let me kind of just talk to you as a player, Adam, and you can tell me what Cantor like gleans. You be the judge of what Cantor's understanding is.
Okay.
This guy, he thinks, "Who's this asshole coming putting hands on my woman?"
Sure.
That's probably the vibe that he's putting out. However, this guy, if you really could read him closely, maybe Cantor can. That's kind of in his head. Like
I guess that was my other thing, is because there's
thinks Linnea is his woman.
Yeah. So
whether or not that's true is that's what he thinks.
Okay. I think that like jealousy.
Can Cantor see that it's jealousy?
Petty jealousy is a thing that Cantor is all about. That's what romance is for him, and like somebody else being like, "Why are you doing this to somebody that I think that I own?" That's weakness, right? That's time. It's time for me to double down, right? So.
Yeah, you definitely get the like jealousy, and also like I'm hosting this party right now, so I'm gonna try to behave. But you better. This is my house, and you're fucking.
Yeah. Okay. So he says, "I don't think I've had the pleasure."
Yeah, and he is basically challenging you to like out yourself, because he assumes you know who he is. So he's like, "Hey, it's a masquerade party. Who are you? Tell me who you are."
All right. I'm looking at the name list so I can come up with something fake.
So you're gonna lie? Okay.
Oh yeah, totally.
Choose 2 letters and then pick from that. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Are you trying to lie to fool him, or are you just like, "Oh, I'm Bambo Shazbot"?
Yeah, no. Yeah, Sir Sloopa of Boopa. No, I'm gonna turn to him and I'm gonna be like, "Why, no, sir, I don't believe you have had the pleasure." And I don't have a hand free because I have my drink in one hand and I got my arm around, and I just kind of like tip my head at him and I'm like, "I'm Sir Aldo Morriston. And this," and I like gesture at, "is my date. And if you'll excuse us, sir." And I like try to like sweep her away.
Okay.
You wanted that desperate, right? You're going for it.
My thing here again is, and this is like, remember, my entire kind of like thing with her is with Linnea is that I'm kind of like a lovable buffoon, and then I'm kind of trying to like make her laugh. Like, this isn't about him. This is me being like, "These guys are stupid. Let's go, baby. It'll be way funner over here with my real friends."
And you know her, like, she's not a delicate flower. Like, she doesn't.
Yeah, and I want to impress her at his expense. So he's standing there going like, "Blah, blah, 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 blah," and I'm like, "Peace, we're gonna go where the fun is at, and you stay here. Nice house.
So
how
I
does
think,
how does she
like,
respond? What's that look like?
I can just tick off another "you're going to get kicked out" check,
Yeah, give it to me.
and you just get away.
Word.
Unless you want to do something like to really smooth it over with this guy, but it sounds like you're just like fuck you, and you just like leave.
Yeah, the thing is
you're not trying to smooth it over.
I want everyone else to think I'm awesome, and now this guy is the butt of every joke I make for the rest of the party. Like it's at his expense. Like I want everyone else to be like, oh my, he just talked to Lord Dunhill or whatever like that. I can't believe that, and I'm just like,
no, are you actually messing with Dun?
Yeah, that's the jam, right?
This is Dunville.
Because for me, I'm trying to.
I mean, it's not Lord Dunville, it's his son.
Captain Dunville.
So Adam, consort has that gate is closed to you, but if you can come up with another action to like be cool as you exit, then you can roll that for sure.
I'm just trying to shake him up, right? I'm just trying to be like, your party, whatever, but you're not in charge.
Yeah, so you can tell that like just sort of like being casual isn't going to impress these people. You're going to have to take some other.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay.
But it's up to you what it is.
I mean, yeah, like
what's your command?
There's no like being. I mean, I'm not bossing anybody around. I'm just trying to make a fool of this guy by not playing by his rules and trying to be the cool guy at the party. You know, that wears the leather jacket to the wedding. You know, I'm John Bender is what I'm trying to be here.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like finesse, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
I would say you're finessing if it's like this smooth exit, and it's command if you're like,
no,
this is my name, and you don't need to know anymore, and he just like you're like forcing him to
yeah,
stop.
it's way less confrontational than that, and way more that like I get that you have codes of behavior, but me, buddy, I could do whatever I want. So it's very much the like going in for the handshake and be like, oh, too slow, see you later.
That's
okay.
finesse.
I only have one die, so whatever.
This will go great.
Yeah, it'll go fantastic for me. I think I want to take the stress though, because I really want to make a fool of this guy.
All right, two stress for another.
Yeah, for another.
And so just so you know, like I'm ticking off the other get kicked out box because you're not really smoothing it over with this dude.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But you are playing to impress the people that are watching still.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And plus, I'm just like I'm being so much more obvious, and like I noticed that Oscar got all his attention when we came in and stuff, and like I know they're gonna do their thing, and I'm trying to take a little attention off of that so that like RC can maybe do something. I'm buying them an opportunity.
Right. Because at this moment we're like looking. At least I was going to be trying to figure out who that guy in the wheelchair is right next to you. So.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank Christ.
Nice. Booyah.
Nice.
Dude. The dice fucking love you, man.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it.
Paid off.
Yeah. Yeah, the stress was well worth it.
Yeah. And you get XP. That's desperate. I assume that was obvious, but you.
Oh yeah.
Desperate roll, you get XP for that. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Awesome. So this guy, he ends up like he's a very popular and cool person in this world. So they're not like, oh, what a dork, but they are like, oh man, it would have been cool to talk to that guy. Oh well, you made him leave. So yeah, before they know what's going on between the three of you, you and Linnea like whoop, just like jet out.
Word. Awesome.
Where you get. You can go wherever you want, but just out of curiosity, like, do you go join your friends or? Do you...
No. So some side room or something, like a drawing room or a study.
Yeah, there's one like right. Actually, it's right there. It's right behind where they're standing.
If only for no other reason than to imply, because it's this dude's house, to be like, we're going to this room where nobody's at.
Right.
What's up? Like, close the door. Yeah, we're just gonna go in here where this sweet fainting couch is, and let's see what happens.
Nice. Yeah. So they clear out Sean and RC. You get a clear view of Captain Strathmill in his wheelchair. You totally recognize him, even with his. He has a really shitty mask. It's like kind of hanging down on strings in front of his face, and he's lolled forward and is like looking out from his one good eye under his brow. You can tell he has a blanket on, but you can tell like he's missing one of his legs below the knee. And maybe we can just have, this isn't like a score type flashback, but I'm imagining a quick flashback for the audience here. When you see this dude to the deck of the Leviathan Hunter, in the cabin in the bridge with Captain Strathmill laid out unconscious, like lolling on the floor with RC at the wheel during the mutiny.
Yep.
As this huge wave like comes crashing towards the vessel, and all these bells are ringing and people are shouting, and there's like guys fighting in the hallway. And we see Strathmill, your former captain, how he used to look before he got mangled.
Right.
Like unconscious, and that like water like sloshes him sideways across the room, and he hits his head on the side of the wall.
I think like RC is like standing over him as like the water, like she's right there as she's just like sees him out of the corner of her eyes. She's still trying to hold on. And like the like
he's Gregory Peck.
What's that?
He's Gregory Peck. Adam just shared from Moby Dick.
Yeah. Yeah, and the light, and they're just blanketed in shadow from the Leviathan that is just off the.
There's this big wave, and like lightning crashes in the black sky, and it's like silhouetted this like weird shape, and there's this like this horrible weird sound, bellowing Screech. You're handling. Let's roll. Let's have a roll in the flashback just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? It's like a desperate finesse roll at the helm.
It's like a desperate finesse roll. Oh, thanks. That sounds fantastic. Let's see how this desperate roll goes.
What happened to ours? And I mean, unless you pilot a ship some other way, maybe you're using your command skills.
I was gonna say I probably use command, but I mean, if it's actually the actual like,
it's totally up to you. You get to choose your action. So just tell me how RC dealt with the situation. Let's see what happened in the past.
Well, we know it went bad for her, so
ultimately it went bad for her. But was this a moment of triumph, or was this when it all went wrong?
Well, let's possibly delay that all going wrong. Let's try command when there's a she's holding the helm and there's just pandemonium around her, and as somebody as one of like the allies that was on her side is cut down, and one of the captain's like dedicated soldiers comes running up. She just shakes him. He like raises up his sword and she catches his wrist and she points. And you can't hear what they're saying because like the wind is shearing and whatnot. She points up at it and like it's clear that like I'm not your enemy, and we'll see if she turns him to aid her, or if
she's like, you fool, we all have to work together.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome.
We'll find out. I'm rolling her current command even though she didn't have it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, and it goes
oh no.
Turns out you drowned. So just all that stuff that happened with your character, you were dead the whole time. Good job.
No, I did drown.
What we see is him like try to fight free, and grapple RC, and you both go down on the deck, and the Leviathan's tentacle, who knows what that is?
Sure. Claw
shears the front of the iron ship, like shears off, and RC sees the deck like break in two as she's wrestling with this dude, and then we're back to the party.
Sure. Well, and of note, like because it was pivotal to her performing the mutiny. I think in that view, Strathmill, like beaten up and knocked over, his eyes are black, and it's like clear that there is some communion between.
Awesome!
And that's why she mutinied, was because he was in league with Leviathan, so
cool.
Or corrupted. She didn't know what happened, but she just knew that he was connected to it.
Yeah, we've already seen the hollow eyes of the servants, so they're similar, but they're different. They're like, you see, I know what it is. It's the Void Sea is black ink. Like if you get a cup of it, it's just opaque black ink, and it tastes like ink. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But when you look at it,
not fun to swim in.
You can see constellations and stars and stuff, like as if it was a sky, somewhere far below. And he has the black hollow eyes, but you can see like
the star
little pinpoints of light and stuff. Like his face has been cut out in Photoshop, and there's like a NASA photo behind his head.
Ah, yes, his eyes are transparent like a PNG.
The scariest of image files.
That's Tiff
Yeah, so boom, back to the present, and he doesn't immediately, like, you're wearing a mask and costume and stuff. He doesn't recognize you or anything, but he's just kind of putting up with this event. Is clearly like not interested in it, and is just kind of like, kind of out of it. But it's definitely him.
Yeah. I love it. I think the banister that that they're leaning against, Oscar can kind of hear like this ever so slight cracking. It's not like she's ripping the banister off. It's just it's like she's like taking her hands in so much that like a little bit of it is shearing, and she steels herself because this is not the time to go fight Lord Skurlock and kill the captain that ruined her life.
Isn't it though? Isn't it?
That's a good question.
This is at what point does this party become a Quentin Tarantino movie? Like, how far do we go before it's just like guns out, slow motion, fucking blasting everybody, blood opera style?
I have a plan for that, and it involves shattering a few of those containment modules on the hollows.
Yeah.
Well, that's speaking of
Backup
that.
plan.
Yeah.
Unless you take some significant action right now, which maybe you are. You're not?
No.
I'm waiting for whatever fancy event happens that we get to see.
The event's going to happen, and that will free you guys up to meet with your young people and have your thing.
Yeah.
So they're presumably around, but being young, cool nobles, they're probably like smoking a hookah in somebody's room right now, and you don't know really where they are. They're not here in the room. Sorry, Josh, were you signaling? Oh, okay.
Just adjusting my screen, that's all.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I do think I should want to follow up with something. Now that I think about it, because we set up the teamwork action to do this, so I want to take use of that. Unless Josh, you were planning on using it to get more information, and I want to find out if because folks know who he is, because it's obvious who he is. I don't know if this is a gather information question, but if it's clear, I want to sort of be on the lookout for his attendance so that I would know his when he's leaving. So that if we were to say like, ambush his carriage, we could figure out who's taking care of him and where they're going. We saw the carriage parked out front.
Yes.
He's not very mobile. Like if he's in a wheelchair, these stairs he can't go down. So how did he get here?
Yes. You see,
figure out how those provisions are made.
He has a steward who's probably also like a, I don't know, bodyguard or something.
Oh my god! Now I'm imagining him as that guy from Clockwork Orange with the huge dude that carries his wheelchair around for him. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Try the wine.
This guy's not that beefy, but yeah, he looks more like Richard Mall. He's big, but he's wearing the Strathmill livery, and he's not wearing a costume. He has a chain and symbol around his neck with the Strathmill crest, and you see it, and you're like, that's what I saw out in the parking lot.
I was gonna say, was it the carriage?
I saw the Strathmill crest.
You saw the Strathmill crest, and it just didn't really click until you saw his face, and right. it all came together for you.
So I know where his carriage is.
You know where his carriage is, and know the crest. And
so, Oscar, about how long would it take you to rig up some kind of bomb that we could put under his carriage, so that when they start the horses, the carriage blows up?
So, okay,
with a flashback, you can always make a bomb, right?
Yeah. That's what I could have been.
I do need desperate rolls to get Tinker.
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn to Oscar and say that's Captain. That is the captain of Harrington. Works under that man. If we wanted someone to speak on his behalf, leveraging that man to do so. Might bend the magistrate's ear further than the word of three scoundrels.
For our supply.
Right. That's exactly why I want to corner that guy. I want to get that guy in a corner, because he could. I'm sure he doesn't realize his man's state, but if he were to be aware of it, he could speak with greater clout than any of us to the magistrate.
Do you want us to take that route?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Do you want to talk to him?
Sure.
Or do you need somebody else to speak on your behalf?
I'll talk to him.
I think this is a great idea.
I
Yeah.
can back you up if you need it.
I don't. Yeah, let's see. Cantor's just meandered off.
I got shit to do, man.
Yeah.
He's talking to his.
How close are we to this? How close are we to the? Do we have an opportunity to get down there?
Yeah, you will, but something's about to happen,
Yeah,
and then after that, you're freely
Okay,
like
let's wait to see
mingle around.
what is about to happen.
I say let's do that.
Okay. I mean, you could run over there if you want to, but obviously,
No.
you don't. You don't.
It took a second for RC to get over like the blind rage to suddenly realize that no, she actually could. He could actually be helpful.
Yeah.
To our purpose.
So some soft chimes ring in hidden places in the room, and everyone kind of pays attention. From the back staircase, Lord Dunville and some other people that are wearing costumes, mostly dressed as spirit wardens. A couple of them have a really genuine looking spirit warden costumes. They're very realistic looking.
A+, didn't buy off eBay, made self.
Maybe they're real.
Their spirit warden cosplay is fantastic.
Oscar, they walk right past Skurlock and Satara, they don't even see them. They just walk down the landing where they're standing.
Yep.
And Satara kind of is smirking as they go by, and she's like,
Man, I hate when NPCs smirk at me. That shit is the worst.
It runs out.
Yeah, just get up in there.
Runs back. Don't smirk at me.
And they go to that middle landing, and Lord Denville, he's fairly old. He's, I don't know, in his 80s probably. He's also wearing a costume, but it's more of a church official kind of thing. It's less of a masquerade costume, more of actually he's like a bishop of the Church of Ecstasy or whatever, in his official capacity as the officiant of the event. It's a party, and it's also this holy day kind of. So he says the ritual things, which, just to move things along, I won't invent them all right now, but he briefly recounts the days after the cataclysm when the devils roamed the earth, and the light of humanity was almost snuffed out, and great champions arose. He names some names of heroes, and Satara is dressed as one of them. Who and she kind of does a little mock cheer.
Does she clink with Skurlock?
No, Skurlock's kind of not paying much attention. His back's to the room, and he's just kind of hunched over, not doing anything. But she's watching. Satara's watching and sort of mocking them. And then there's a call and response thing where people assume some spirit wardens have come to the event, and Lord Dunville asks, gives thanks for the institution and the spirit wardens who risk their lives and their very souls for the defense of humankind against the devils of the world, and and people call back they give thanks and whatever. Adam, you're hearing this from behind the door, and Linnea, you guys have had a brief conversation, I think, which we've skipped over a little bit, but she's kind of I gotta go, I gotta do something. I'll be right back.
Yeah, and I've spent the entire time trying to convince her to stay here and make out with me. I've been like,
right,
just
right.
come on while they're doing this.
Yes.
Listen, we got 5 whole minutes. Come on.
She's been making out with you, and then she's like, I got it. Hang on.
Okay. And then she's trying to slip away. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. And so the middle section of the landing, there's this mechanical marvel that it opens, and that whole base of that staircase, this apparatus rises up out of the landing. It's about 8 feet high and crystalline with two pipes, and it looks like a really fancy like a whiskey distilling,
like an alembic
thing. Yeah. It has like a glass,
For essences, though, probably.
Yeah.
I recognize this stuff.
It has a bunch of attachment points at the bottom of this like ring with this metal like gasket things where something slots into it, and then sort of at the top there are these silver flutes that go down into the thing, and gathering up around are Strathmill's representative, Captain Linnea Ankayat is her actual name, Dunville, and the other Leviathan Hunter captains that are here. They have little metal casks, and they come up at the right time. Linnea kind of like hustles at the last second. I'm here too.
That's my hair.
Yeah, and they all arrive at the right time, and they uncork their
Are
casks.
so for the ceremony, are they like announcing the names of these people as they arrive, or are they?
Yeah. They're like the hunter Leviathan Hunter families.
So what is the general like vibe, like kind of solemn, or are people like
Pretty solemn?
I ruin that because
it's thankful. It's a thankful, like, we give thanks for
when they say her name, Cantor probably is like,
oh, God.
woo!
Oh, jeez.
From the back, like, yeah!
I'm gonna go ahead and mark another tick.
I was to say,
You're done.
It's fine.
You're done.
I got
That's
one
your
more.
cap.
I got
There you
one
go.
more.
You got one more. That's 3. You want to go for 4?
I can do 4. You want 5?
Quick shot.
So when they uncork, the room fills with the very distinct aroma of Leviathan blood. This kind of overpowering. It's not a stench. It's almost this like sweet, briny. It's hard to describe. There's nothing else like it. You guys are intimately familiar with this smell.
Deal with this shit all the time. Yeah.
And Strauss, you see Satara like just glowering at this like hateful stare, murderous glare at the Leviathan Hunter captains. And like she, in an instant, she could just tear them limb from limb. She's just giving them this look like, and they pour their casks in, and it fills the apparatus with the Leviathan blood, kind of coating the inside of the thing. And just as they're finishing, the servants have arrived, the hollows have arrived, and they take their spirit bottles off their necks and attach them to the bottom of the thing. And that sets off this chain reaction where there's ghosts of these people get charged by the Leviathan blood, and they crackle and swirl all around the chamber. And this room, which has been lit by these gas lights, which is pretty old-fashioned and weird, all the gas lights go out. The whole room is lit by this electrical mayhem inside as the spirits basically, and you've seen this happen before, kind of. In the very first session, you saw Oscar like destroy some people's spirits with electroplasm in the basement. And that's what it looks like. Like
it's important that the party has an Egon Spengler in case things get out of hand. It's nice that you're here, Oscar, for all the shit talking. It's good.
They basically fight to the death inside this thing. They can't escape, and the reaction just destroys them until they're just rendered into energy, and some kind of capacitor or battery or system under the stairs whirs to life, and all the gas lights are replaced with electric light glow. And you could, like, this is the thing. This is like this ritual moment of, look how far we've come. We've escaped the clutches of the spirit world, and we have technology and science now to lead us into a new dawning. This
is what it's going to be like when we finally like give up like gas and oil and stuff. Like the sacred church of the solar panel, blessed be its squareness.
That's right.
Like, I love the desperation of the like, well, we have this thing and we need to make ourselves feel better about the fact that it's like human souls or whatever, but we'll just have a ritual. That'll make it better, right? Everybody likes rituals.
We'll have some ceremony out of it.
and there's not applause because that's not the right tone here, but people are like into it. They're not like, well, this is a thing we have to do because it's right. They're like, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I think RC is moved by it. Like
we're the
this,
best.
yeah, like this doesn't go past her without her feeling her past life and that was something she was committed to.
Word.
Yeah, and I think like in general, you guys decide on your own character's feelings, but in general, like people in Duskwall don't find this particularly barbaric or weird. Like your character may, if you want to, but if this is a normal part of life, is rendering people's ghosts for electrical power is like a pretty normal thing. But that doesn't mean you necessarily like it just because it's common.
Just one point of note. You mentioned that Skurlock's totally not into the whole thing. He's facing away from the room and not paying attention.
Yeah.
But Satara is like mocking people and kind of making a show. I think that there's probably just like a moment when she's doing that where everybody in the room is like staring at other things that, Oscar will raise a glass to her and note that, he's enjoying her performance. Like at least one
You actually
person
want to get her attention?
Yes.
Okay. When you get her attention, she starts all of a sudden because no one's supposed to be able to see her, and then you see this whole like I'm having fun thing she's been doing. Maybe it was an act, or you don't know exactly what was going on. She gives this quick furtive glance to Skurlock, like to see if he's paying attention at all. And like her whole demeanor changes. She just has her normal, she's a demon or whatever. This kind of dead face, like the way she was acting just a second ago was totally some kind of performance. She realizes it's you and has this like straight moment of like, oh, okay. And then realizes Skurlock again and kind of like hisses and like does this act again. Like for his benefit kind of.
Nice.
Yeah, but he's still just like, you don't know what he's doing. He's just turned around, like ignoring the situation.
I love that your uncle or whatever is just like Nosferatu. Like, who invites him to a party? Like,
Nobody invited him to the party.
like, okay, man, like you're really cool.
He
thanks.
just goes where he wants, and people don't really pay attention to him.
He has a demon on a chain right next to him, and nobody
And
can
you're
even
saying
see
I'm
him.
ruining the party. Have you seen this guy? Like,
They can't give him a clock. They try to, but they keep forgetting.
What do you
It's
think
Yeah.
of Kesha's new album?
They're like,
dude?
okay, that's one. It's like 100. One more, and you're out of here, whoever you
Oh,
are.
man.
Uh,
Lord Skurlock has no chill at all whatsoever. Like, just ruining the party.
So electric lights replace the gas lights. People appreciate it and kind of smile, and that now they know, like, okay, the religious part of the night is over, and the party starts. And these musicians begin playing from this like hidden alcove behind the staircase. This chamber music starts up, and the serving buffet tables have been rolled out silently without people noticing during this, and they're uncovered, and now it's time like to eat and drink and party and have a good time for the rest of the evening. So that kicks off, and at the same time, Adam, you're in this sort of sitting room salon off to the side there on the second floor, which has doors, these like big tall French doors going into bedrooms or libraries or something. And when the chamber music starts playing, some young people like stagger out of one of the rooms, and this cloud of purplish smoke kind of billows out onto the floor with them.
Dream smoke?
Yeah.
Young people in purple stuff.
One of them's
All
clutching
over.
a bottle, and their like tie is askew, and their dresses are kind of like somewhat unbuttoned, and there's a little gaggle of them, and they come out and see you, and kind of like give you this sort of smile, and you can tell right away, like, okay, this is who we're meeting. One of them is Orlo Dunville. You haven't met him before, Adam, but that you know who you're supposed to meet at the party. It's these kids. So
Yeah. Now I'm in my element. Hello, fellow students.
Dilettantes. We are posing as dilettantes.
Yes, posing as totally up front. I'm not actually a useless person with a bit of money.
So you guys can decide now. Do you want to, just before we get into actions, like do you want to go into the engagement and do the score now? Because the opportunity is here and everything's going according to plan. Or do you want, you've been given sort of new opportunities for trouble. Do you want to pursue those first and let the score kind of happen after that?
I think we do the score, guys.
Yeah, I think I want to chase down Strathmel. So yeah, RC's gonna look to Oscar and say like, I don't want to lose this opportunity. I'm not gonna lose this opportunity, and make as though she's gonna go. Are you gonna tell
Yeah,
her?
Oscar's going to say, RC, this is where you don't be Cantor. We are here on business. This is not a back alley brawl, and this is not the deck of a ship. That life is past. We have a job to do.
As you command, Lord Vader. I'm just gonna keep making chaos. It's gonna be sweet, and y'all can do the serious business. You can rely on me for that.
Cantor is our canvas. If you recall, he's the one that has the tat that we need to show these kids. So we need to collect him, and we need to get the hell into that room.
Yeah, I'm gonna get tore up with these dank teens very soon. So you're gonna want to get on me before I'm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you have the opportunity, Oscar, to like you can see those, as you can see in the picture there. They're glass doors. You see these kids standing around Cantor, and some kind of conversation starts there.
Oh my God,
Oscar's gonna assume that you're following and just turn around and head that direction.
Cause just like the idea of Cantor around a bunch of like high teenagers is so ridiculous. Cause he's that dude that shouldn't be, like, he's just a little too old to be hanging out with teens. Like, I'm fucking Matthew McConaughey.
Teens is not quite right. They're like 20.
Yeah.
You know? They're right there. Yeah.
I love it.
So Oscar, you're gonna go like down the steps.
I'm gonna show them my tattoos, so they'll think
the apparatus goes back down to the floor, and gives room for people to mill around. So if you make a beeline, you'll get there like right when they're interacting with Cantor, and RC's gonna do her own thing. Sounds like.
Yeah, I think RC's gonna like start like she's following, and then when Oscar looks back, she's standing by Strathmel.
So we've had this question before, and we might as well revisit it. Good old Blades PvP. Is it possible for RC to be commanded to fall in line and do the job right now? Is it worth anyone rolling to command her, or is she beyond that?
No, it's totally worth it.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's totally doable. RC could see a reason.
If it's possible for her to be commanded and someone wants to do the commanding, or whatever action is appropriate.
I think it's just a matter of like RC like as your wife walking over saying like, my role here is just security if it's needed. If someone shouts, I'll come, but otherwise I'm going to socialize. Like, her take is like, what am I going to do in this party? Like, what role do you see me? I don't have a tattoo. I'm not the tattoo artist. Like, do you need me? Really?
What you have is Cantor wrangling.
Yeah, no, that's real. Definitely.
You have command 3, and I do not want to deal with his shit right now.
Welcome to my
This is
world.
what we do around here. I will assist. We can teamwork. I'll roll my 1 die. It'll be fine.
All right. Awesome. I'm like, before we leave, and this is going to be great if it doesn't work, but I'm like, before we leave, we don't lose the opportunity to talk to Strathmel. We're just going to have a friendly chat.
Well, the funny thing is, too, is that, like, regardless of all the party stuff, I feel like RC, that if you're like, there's this motherfucker here we need to teach a lesson to, don't ask questions, I'll be like, oh, yes. It's not a party until I get high, I get to make out with somebody, and then I shoot some motherfucker. So I'm behind you on that one. I'm in.
Cantor, I think you're misconstruing it. Do you remember the guy that's our supplier for the Leviathan blood?
Listen,
and how he got
I
nabbed?
don't need to talk economics with you about this.
No. She wants to rescue him from the magistrate by trying to use some sway to give us pull, which is possible, but...
I'm hearing you saying things, but my trigger finger...
All right.
It's getting itchy.
I feel like...
Do you understand why we need Cantor wrangling now, RC?
Yeah, nip it in the bud now before it gets out of control.
Yeah, no, it's totally cool. RC is like, once again, like, kind of quells down this fire inside of her that just like wants to lash out. Like, she said she wanted to go over and talk to him, but maybe that's not how it would have gone. She sees this opportunity passing, and she's just like bristles, but follows. So yeah.
And it's reasonable to expect that no one is leaving right now. It would be very, very rude to leave when the party starts. So
Oscar Skurlock saving us from making terrible mistakes.
Yeah, awesome. So I think we both just make it in time.
All right. So so Adam, what's your intro to this group? Do you tell them who you are and why you're there? Like, hey, I'm
this guy. I'm
the dealer.
I mean, I probably just am like, what up, kids? You getting high? I love that shit. Give me some of that purple stuff. And I'm like, wait, how did you guys? Everybody was pre-partying without me. I had to listen to this religious ceremony. Where's the room where I could smoke the purple shit the whole time? So I'm gonna just be like, oh, I gotta catch up. Give me in on that. Yeah.
All right. So they realize that you're cool and you're not gonna like judge them.
That's all I ever wanted to hear anyone say to me, John. They realized it. Finally, it's happening.
We got there. We did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hothead dilettantes.
You don't even have to roll. They just realized their own volition. Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Is like I'm being Cantor, right? So I'm just like, whatever will ingratiate me to these teens, and I'm like, cool. I also love drugs because I do, and at some point it will turn into like, oh, let me show you my sweet tattoos. But I'm schmoozing with them using their milieu, right?
Totally, yeah. That is a thing you can do.
Yeah.
And very shortly thereafter, Oscar arrives, and you see Orlo Dunville, your contact, and Anya's there too. Your crew contact, the dilettante who kind of got you into this world to begin with, and they don't immediately recognize you because you're wearing a crow outfit, but.
Well, he was introduced. Well, I guess
it'll only take a few
Oscar,
moments.
do you walk into where we're at then?
Yeah.
Like, come looking for me or for them? Okay. How do the dilettantes react to?
So when they
Oscar?
first come in, they are like they're trying to like lead you away, Cantor. They're like, come over here, and they're like
wherever you want to go, let's do it.
Leading you into the back, and then the door opens, and they kind of look back and see the two of you come in. And they're kind of like hustling to just leave, unless obviously you're gonna stop them and like.
I'll be like, no, it's cool. Weird boy and the thug are with me. It's cool. They're cool. Trust me.
Okay, that's enough for the light to go on. Anya's like, oh, cool costume, to Oscar, and she comes over and like. Strokes the feathers of the cape and like looks at the beak and is like, cool. She's not wearing a costume. They're just kind of wearing like nice clothes.
Comes over and touching you.
I think that there's this. I don't know if you know, but the whole plague doctor mask, the raven thing.
Yeah.
Part of the reason is so that they could keep things in the nose, so that they could not smell the rotting corpses.
Right.
Yeah.
And
filters in there.
Yeah.
That not filters this time. Oscar's actually brought the supplies in the mask.
Oh, nice.
That's where the stuff is going to come from.
The tattoo gun and the inks are in there.
No, I would like to do a flashback if possible.
Okay.
I think what I pull out is actually sheets of like, I don't know, some sort of vellum, and I think what Oscar's actually created is temporary tattoos. So they get like a taste, but not enough so they're going to have to come in because I mean you
wet the vellum on their arm or whatever, and it transfers the ink on them, and then cool.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I am totally not making that ink walk into their body. Yes.
Well, I can imagine like you pouring the ink over the vellum, and it just sort of absorbs it and forms it into the shape of the tattoo, and you peel it away, and that's all that's left behind.
And I think that the whole procedure, like the way that that I'm partially going to sell them on it is, tattoos are kind of personal things, right? Like they're oftentimes like things that people want or have ideas about, and Oscar is trying to talk to them because he can coax the ink into a particular direction. So like if somebody like is totally into like, I don't know, lions or leviathans or whatever, then that's the shape that they're going to get. Like, well, I just happen to have one here. But no, of course, that's exactly what Sean said. Like you pour it on top of it and then it shapes into the right shape. So they can see what it would look like. and it gives them a taste, but it's not permanent. They'll have to come to us for that, because I am not a tattoo artist, as a point of note, and I have way too much respect for the profession to pretend that I could just wing it.
Well, you acquired the exquisite quality patterns in the last session, which
That's partially what we're gonna use.
you already have those, and so you could copy them, trace them, or something.
That's all it is. Tattooing is just tracing. It's fine.
Yeah, it's super easy.
It's just tracing.
It's the using arcane power to infuse the body part. That's probably the tough bit.
Yeah.
Like, every good tattoo artist does.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
that's the real skill tattoo.
This is a totally reasonable flashback for no stress, and you had access to all the stuff. So I think just take off your arcane implements gear is one of the things you brought, and that'll cover it.
Cool.
That's one of my 3.
Cool. So you're not taking it out right now. You just have it. You have it in the mask. Yeah. Maybe,
That's the plan.
Do you show Anya like, hey, look, I brought it?
I do show Anya when she's petting the feathers and looking at the thing.
Okay.
I show her that this is more than just.
Yeah. She's like, ooh, cool. Yeah, and she kind of wants to like pull them out and look at them because she's sort of.
Let me touch your cloak. It feels so cool right now.
She's just high enough to like start like pulling them out. Like, oh yeah. So you have to like put them back. No. But Dunville is like over here, and in the back room, there's like a big room in the back, and rooms on the sides. The back room is a sort of sitting room library with bookcases and the ladders and like multi-stories of books and maps and that kind of stuff. Not like a place to do serious study, but like a place to sit and read poetry or whatever. He goes back and he moves one of the ladders out of the way and then opens the bookcase secret door with the circular stairs that go down. And
we see how he does all of this, right? Like, from our like thieving nature, like how do we produce this would not
sense tingling.
Right.
He's such a rube to you guys. Like, he didn't even hide what book he pulled to open the lock. What an idiot. There was no misdirection at all.
He's obviously not a character in a role-playing game like we are.
And he leads you down several flights past. There's servants' entrances at each level to different rooms and stuff. Down into the underground canal, down to the Dunville House underground canal dock space.
Is there any way that I could have, because this is super cool, we're getting invited to the like super secret party, and the only person whose opinion I really give a shit about is my new girlfriend.
Oh, you want Linnea?
Can I have been like, come on, we're going to the fun part, the real parties this way, come on. It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah. You could. I mean, again, that's a super reasonable flashback for like a zero stress flashback.
Yeah, totally.
Like we see you, maybe you say like, well, okay, but come back up here when you're done. You know, like something along those lines.
Yeah.
So after she does her bit of her ritual, she comes back and finds the bookcase ajar and like goes and catches up to you. That's totally reasonable. Yeah, sweet. She would do that for sure.
Awesome.
We've already established that like if nothing else had happened before this, we might roll and be like, well, like can she slip away without people thinking she's rude, or that ship has sailed. Like some weird shit happened when her friend showed up at this party, and there's no undoing that at this point. So she can just leave. But it's fine. Whatever. Right?
Yeah, I'm into it.
The damage has been done. So yeah, that's fine. She catches up with you when you get down to the dock. And they have, this is another like crazy thing, because you've done this before. Skurlock Manor, in fact, has an underground canal dock. However, in Brightstone, as I said before, it's clean and smells nice, and the water is crystal clear and beautiful, and there's these bright white stones with inlaid silver filigree, and there's like cushions, like silken cushions put out on benches down there that aren't moldy and wet. They're like fresh and new, and there's an actual boathouse down here. This beautiful wooden boathouse built into the dock space with electric lights inside, and a place for all the boat supplies, and everything's polished and clean, and it's just gorgeous. There's a little like bed and fireplace and stuff where some sort of boat attendant worker person must stay here sometimes overnight, and there's no one there right now. So they're clearly like, this is the secret party is down in the underground boathouse. That's where it's gonna happen. So let's roll your engagement roll.
And this is where it gets fun.
because you're engaging at this point.
Yeah. This is a social plan, right?
It is a social plan, yes. And I will talk through the dice here briefly. The way it works is we've rolled to find out how things are going when you begin the score. The score of gaining new customers among the rich is what you're doing here tonight. So do you start out in a really good position, or do you start out with some trouble? And since there's a million factors, the classic Shadowrun problem, right? Too many things to track that could go wrong. So let's just roll and see if something did go wrong, and then we can say what it was.
Yeah.
And this is why we bring RC.
That's right. So the way the roll works, like all rolls, you guys are going to want more dice, and you're going to want to roll high. So what the dice represent is the vulnerability of your target. The more vulnerable they are, the more dice you get.
Sure.
How vulnerable they are to this particular plan and the details of your plan. So you want to do this. You've been specifically invited here to do it by someone who lives in the house with a legitimate invitation. That's almost as vulnerable as someone can possibly be. It's very close to that. It's very rare that your target invites you.
They're drugs.
Yeah,
Right.
they're high.
Right. So six dice of vulnerability is the top. However, when there's a difference in tiers with you and your target, you lose dice, because even though everything is great for you guys, like this situation is just out of your league. Like there's stuff that these kind of people think about in their lives and plan for and deal with that you don't really get very well, because you're not super rich celebrities that have to deal with this kind of stuff. So they probably have contingencies or something, like who knows what it is. But
Well, also there's going to be some awkwardness of like, yeah, so this is really cool with this nice party. What you need to do is come down to the slums in the Crow's Foot, into this super shady tattoo parlor that's out the end of an alley, and we'll wake you up. It'll be great. Like there could be reservations once the fullness of the plan is.
that's also possible, yes.
No, it'll be fine. They're gonna love it. It'll be the best.
Fortunately for you, is it's not a penalty per tier. It's either 1 or 2 dice, 1 for a difference and 2 for any more than that. So even though they're essentially, these are like tier 4 kind of people, where you can still get 4 dice to roll for your engagement.
I say we let Cantor roll because he's good at this.
That's true. Adam is good at role playing.
It's true.
Adam, you should be good at role playing for us with 4 dice.
4 dice.
So,
all right.
Yes, and
4
just
dice.
to be clear to the audience at home, like this roll doesn't decide how the score turns out. This
It's just the starting,
the starting situation.
and it's just keep the highest one like a normal roll.
yeah.
All right, I'm doing it. There it is.
Yeah,
Bam!
Dude, Adam 6 Kobold every time.
Every time, except that one time I got 2 1s. It was fine. I got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Hey, you only got 3/4 thrown out, so it's all good.
Right.
It's true.
It's all good. That extra was just didn't even matter.
I love the idea of the players knowing because I think often the GM tool set is like, we're gonna hide it. I'm gonna like start, and you can do that. You can be like, well, once I've reached these things, and so when something happens, you can be like, I'm just gonna make a note. But it's also really fun to be like, well, you're 3/4 of the way to get your ass thrown out, so.
It really gets everyone on the same page, There's you can't be like, yeah, but they wouldn't really do that, right? Well, look, it's 4 out of 4. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You check the box.
I warned you. I warned you. I knew this would happen. Well, good thing I
awesome.
rolled
So
that
6 means that things go according to plan by your established details. So you planned to meet these young people in a secret party within the real party, and that's exactly what happens. So there's no sudden surprises. You haven't won them over yet, but when you go down there, like, and turn on the lights in the cabin, like his dad isn't waiting for you, like, what's the meaning of this? Like that nothing like that happens.
Yeah.
So, and that's part of prep too. Like there isn't a lot of prep in Blades, but like I happen to have time this week, so I actually prepped like what happens on a miss with this roll and what happens on a 4 to 5, and that's a little bit of a way to like stock the dungeon for me. Like if they roll a miss, what's the trouble that's gonna show up?
Yeah.
So you guys do it. It goes just like you want. The kids did whatever they did on their end to not attract their parents' attention, so that no one was curious about why they were missing. And so you're there, and somebody goes and like picks up a violin and starts like playing a tune in the back, and some of them go and like lay down on a couch next to them and like fall in love with their beautiful playing. And you have several hours to hang out, or it depends on how impatient RC is about getting back upstairs. But
Yeah.
you've got plenty of time to consort or do whatever you need to do to try and like win these people over and create a new clientele. So tell me how you want to do that.
Yeah, what skill do I use to get turned up? That is my
I
plan.
think the idea that Cantor was kind of going for was like, hey, let's party, let's schmooze.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It feels like we should start with like a group action of all of us schmoozing with them. I mean, that's like
totally.
what
This is the
that's
yeah,
what we're
like,
here to do, to like ingratiate ourselves. We're gonna
That's right.
The blurry,
You know.
like wobbly shot, like we're all woo, it's a party.
right
Yeah.
because
It's
before
like-
you get the hook,
the
you
action-
first want to show that you're with them and you're
Yeah, so there's like 3 immediate ways to do it I can think of. There's like a group action prowess resist where you just do so much drugs that they like you impress them and you stay on your feet, which is not really your style.
the fear and loathing in Duskwall approach.
Yeah, like wow, you guys can really hang.
yeah.
There's the like finesse approach where you don't really party and it seems like you are, and you sort of like sleight of hand it a little and make it seem like things are not quite what they seem. Or there's the consort mode, which is like, hey, we're cool and you like us because we're cool and we're hanging out.
I think we're cool personally. I think
Yeah.
that was our plan. It's like none of us are above taking dream powder. We're not going to get so high that we can't that we don't remember what our plan is. But
I mean,
there's also the command route where you're like, all right, kids, you don't know who you're messing with. If you want to get out of this boathouse alive,
right. We waited until they're all fucked
Well,
up.
I
and we
did-
just
I
take
did-
out-
you just got fucked with the
What
wrong.
did you do, Jimmy?
I did. Okay, I did envision a moment like trying to basically make the kids think that we are awesome by like telling them scary ass stories. So I do sort of have a scary ass story in mind, just like you did prep. I did prep.
I got this covered.
So
Well, and that there's a mechanic for that, right? Like, yeah, like you can do a setup action before the group action to boost your effect. If you have something in mind in that vein, Sean, you could totally like prime the situation with your story, or it sounds like Strauss has an idea too.
yeah, it sounds like Josh.
Oh,
So-
I was just gonna tell a scary ass story, but you go on.
Right.
Well, so
Officer's got scary ass stories handled in case you need one.
it doesn't have to be either or. That's all nested, right? You can do
Sure.
a group action setup, and both of you can do it.
Sure.
And we can hear both of your cool, scary stories, and then that'll boost the team when you
Cool.
do the consort. So it all feeds in.
Awesome.
I want to hear your scary stories. So
Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. So like when we're down there, at some point we're sitting on these couches and whatnot, and like RC reaches down like under her dress because like something's bothering her, and she pulls out this like from underneath her dress, strapped to her side. She pulls out this like curved blade that's
Sean brings props.
well, I mean, like I'm playing in my house, right? And it comes out with this nice, like it actually makes that noise, right? And the reason why it actually makes that noise is because it's a metal sheath and it's a dull blade. There's no edge on it. And so whenever she's like snorting something, she snorts it off the edge,
nice,
right?
nice.
And she tells the kid, the guy that she's like just shot up something with, that it's an Eruvian blade, and that the edge is flat, and she like bangs it against her hand to show him like it's harmless. She said only the tip is dangerous because in Eruvia it's legal to stab a man below the belt, and there's a vein right between your legs where if you stab a man just right, they'll bleed out.
Right,
with
in Aruvia it's legal, but only if it's just the tip, right?
What is wrong with
and
you?
that's like get like fascinated by this dagger, like the implication that she's like taking many men's lives with the tip of this blade. Like she just picked this fucking thing up, right? But
Yeah.
this is her trying to like get this guy freaked out, like that she's dangerous, that like he can hold it if he wants to, that he could be exotic and well traveled and whatnot just by the presence of this dangerous weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So yeah, I'd like to.
I think you have them. You have their full attention.
Sweet. I want to roll some command, but do you want, since we're doing this group action, Josh, do you want to do your scary thing and then we roll all our command together? And
I'm okay with this plan.
Yeah.
Adam, do you have a scary thing, or shall just the two of us do it?
I mean, I'm not trying to be scary. I'm trying to be like friends with these people.
Yeah, this is not to scare them. This is to show them that we're cool. This is the setup for like, these people are awesome.
And that is part of the deal, right? They already have friends that are like normal people. And so they're like, yeah, we're dangerous.
I want to show that we're exotic, that we're well traveled, that we know shit, that we kill people.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Maybe not the well. All right, we'll see.
So I think Oscar tells a story. Crit, sweet.
Nice, good work.
So we keep that, but I'll roll my d6 too, anyway, and maybe give you a stress. Hang on.
Yeah, give us some stress. Okay.
But I think you know how like RC has come up with this story, and like the dagger is not really a thing. Oscar actually tells a story about like a train that breaks down in between the cities, and how the people like come out of it and they see a light on the hill and they go up there and they realize there's a village of living people outside of the electric walls, and how like as they start spending time there, you know, people start disappearing and all this other stuff, and what they understand is that the people that live there are protected by something that's worse than the things that circulate the countryside, and they have to sacrifice all of the like passengers from the train. And I don't know, he kind of like brings it down to like, and this was from one of the passengers, and you know, it's from the Deathlands, and like, you know, it's like the last object clutched by them, and you can tell because there's this bloody handprint, and you know, RC's like totally fake about it, but this is actually something he picked up.
Nice.
The thing that like Oscar can totally tell is like RC picked up this trinket, but she's definitely killed a man this way. Like,
yeah, that.
It's just bullshit. It's not even a Rubian, but she's super killed a guy this way before.
Nice.
That part she has in way too much detail.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, like, I think the vibe, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, is like we see this, like RC's like, and on the handle was a hook, you know, like, and they're like telling and the kids are like, oh, and then Strush tells his story, and they're like, oh, we see Cantor, and you're like with them, going like,
totally, that's what I was thinking. I was just like,
you're totally just in it, but you've already joined the other team.
Yeah. I'm the ringer in the crowd, being like,
we're setting you up for the consort, right?
I say we let him go.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys critted. RC, you take a stress from Oscar's story that tries to be scary and cool and is just scary.
Scary.
But you smooth it over.
I think, yeah. He probably like plays it up and like flares his feathers and maybe even like lets a little cold wind in with tempest.
Yeah.
They go
No, turn it down.
Too
Turn
far.
it down.
It's too much.
So on the setup move, that improves our.
It can either improve your position or your effect. However, you're already in a dominant position.
I was going to say I want effect. I want,
So I think let's say +2 effect.
Nice.
Which, so just to run the calculation real quick, it's let's see, standard, scale, quality, exquisite patterns.
Yeah.
That's +2, -2, +2. Yeah. So by default, you're going to have great effect on your consort here. Unless things go really badly.
Right. So if we just got a baseline success, we'd have great effect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. They're ready. They're totally primed now, and they're like at this point you could be like Do you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord?
I mean,
Like-
the thing
like,
is,
whatever.
this is the perfect like arc of the eating, right? Because it's like, all right, we had the stuffy party thing or whatever. Then we get down here, and we get all tore up in these caves, and who wants to get some sweet tattoos? Let's do it.
Right. Well, because that's the next thing.
Let's
is, like,
do it right now. Come
You know what we
on.
also brought back from Aruvia?
Yeah.
These sweet
Oh
tattoos.
my god, let's do it. Come on.
That like just segues into like, well,
Guys,
you wanna
guys,
keep-
wait. We should all get them
Yeah,
together.
Totally.
God damn it! I wish we brought Brogan right now. We would just do it here.
Be the dankest. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ultimate like 3-stress desperate action flashback is Brogan like pulls up on a boat with the tattoo parlor on it. He's
Yeah.
like, let's do this.
The SS get tore up. Get on that boat. Get on it. Let's go. Come
Oh my
on.
god, I'm dying here.
Get on the tattoo boat.
Perfect.
Okay, well, it's cool. No, our plan, your plan's a good one, Trash, because we want them coming back. We want this tattoo to fade in a week, and then they're hooked, literally hooked, like addicted to this shit. Like, gotta get the tattoo, gotta get my.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you're set up for a group consort here, dominant position.
Who's leading?
Shit's good.
I feel like Cantor is probably
think so.
because you have the tat, because you're already kind of amongst them,
Mm-hmm.
and we're doing
Sounds good.
support.
I've definitely already got my shirt off because fuck it.
Yeah.
Everybody looking at my sweet tattoos.
It
Yeah, your
happens.
tattoos are sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's true.
what question? What's Linnea's response to all this shit? Arcee's concerned
Yeah.
because Linnea's a captain and she's worried about being identified. And like
Yeah.
almost like when she says the story, like, oh shit, it's gonna reveal me as a sailor. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm anybody in particular, but like clearly I'm saying this because I've been on ships and da da da. Is she cool? Is she just partying? What's she like?
Roll your study, Sean.
Right.
Linnea is actually very good, or not very good, but she's pretty good about controlling her reactions and playing stuff off. So
I'd like to take a devil's bargain that she recognizes me from it. Like she hears the story and she's like, I know who that was. I heard about that.
Okay, sure.
I mean, it seems
Listen.
fitting. I just gave myself a.
Listen, RC, listen, don't get all jealous and weird now. Try
Yeah.
to relax.
She recognizes your voice after a time, and then the story clinches it,
Nice.
and she realizes who you are. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Cool. What position am I in?
You're just getting information, so it's just a fortune roll, let's say.
Oh, okay.
Do
So,
it. Hit that.
take-
Hit that thing.
Take a bonus.
Oh yeah. I'll take
Boom.
That's
Nice.
6.
So you get good information and follow-up questions if you want it. She is playing it super cool, and you can tell that she's doing it partially for Cantor's benefit. She wants to fit in. Their whole relationship is her not being the captain person,
Yeah.
and now she's in a mixed group, but Cantor's there,
Yeah.
and you can tell hanging out and doing drugs and getting tattoos is totally fine with her.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fuck this up for me, RC. Don't fuck. It's going so great for me. Do not
All
fuck
right.
this
So
up.
here's my follow-up question.
But if anything demonic rears its head at all,
Yeah.
she is
Don't
not
worry,
going to
got
be.
that
I
covered.
She
swear
is
to
not
God.
going to be cool with that. She is
No.
so not going to be cool with that.
All right. Awesome. So here's the question you're gonna hate, Adam, or maybe you'll love, but Cantor will hate. My follow-up question is: can I leverage her insecurity about being seen with Cantor to get her to vouch to work for me? Can I manipulate her via Cantor?
Do not steal my NPC, Sean. She's mine. Don't take her away from me. I have a countdown clock. I'm working
I
on
don't
it.
want her. She's all yours. I just want to be able to manipulate her so I can get to other captains. Sorry.
Too soon. Wait until the wedding, man.
She's
Wait
an
until the
asset.
wedding.
Step
I mean-
one, Sean, you have to say yoink, then it's all fair game.
Dibs. No. That's fine.
Sorry, I was reading Twitch chat. What was your question?
We all know what a colossal pain in the ass you are, RC. So just keep doing it. It's fine.
My question was my follow-up question: is she sufficiently uncomfortable about the idea of being seen with Cantor in polite society that I could use that to manipulate her? Can I ply her?
Oh, dude, good question. Man, I don't think we really want to know the answer to that, do we?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you though, because you found out right now. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Cool.
It's you
It
don't.
would be a really shitty thing to do. It'd be really awful if RC did that.
Yeah, and you feel like you really couldn't push it much.
Yeah. I'd have a little push, and then it would probably be too much.
There is more than zero leverage on that point with her. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's slight.
Okay.
I guess one way we could look at it on the meta player level here is like Cantor's that clock that he's working on right now isn't full yet.
That's what I'm saying. Wait until after.
When it is full, that leverage is going to be gone, and until it is, there's
some.
I swear to God, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna be like, Captain Ahab, what can I do to help you destroy her? Whatever you want, Ahab. I'm your man.
You can get rid of RC easy. Just put a bullet in her head. I'm sure you got a gun hidden. Right
No.
Look, I gave my heart to what's her name, and no one's gonna.
That's right, exactly. This is my beautiful what's her name. We're in love.
What's her name?
I'm probably
Me and
that
what's her
guy
name to the end of time.
That's right.
Captain. Damn it.
Captain what's her name? Beautiful Captain what's her name?
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, I have that information.
Yep. You have leverage to manipulate her, but it's a little bit.
Cool.
Okay.
I think that was our. Yeah, we're ready to consort. Ready for Cantor.
Dominate consort roll with +2 effect.
All right. So
this,
how many?
This is as good as it gets.
How many dice am I rolling here? I've got consort 1.
Okay, you're gonna roll 1.
Okay.
I think we're all rolling our consort.
Oh, that's right. Y'all roll. Do you roll first, and then I?
You can all roll together. It's fine. If you want Devil's Bargains, I don't think you need them, honestly. But if you want them, we can do them.
I think we're okay.
Well, yeah. I think
if anybody wants to push, they can push.
I got 5 stress right now. I think. I like being stressed out.
I mean, a devil's bargain could certainly be that we actually do get so rowdy that somebody upstairs is going to notice us and get kicked out of this party, which I would not want to. RC would not want to take, but it seems super appropriate if we really raising the roof and people are going crazy. I don't know if folks want it. I don't know if that's a legit devil's bargain either. But.
I mean, I feel like we're pretty far away, right?
Yeah, we're way down, right?
Yeah.
So somebody would have to actively be coming down here.
I'd say we roll and we see what happens.
Okay. Cool.
All right. I see a 6.
Jesus God. Fuck. Why are we so terrible?
Oh no, that was the old roll. 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quit at role playing games. I'm done. Fuck this.
Oh my God.
All right, so here's the good news. It was dominant. So
right. So it just gets worse.
You have all this momentum. Everything's going great. You pull out the designs. Everyone loves them. They're looking cool. Everyone's picking out what they want and stuff like that. And then somebody breaks the spell slightly, and they're like, wait, hang on. We're really gonna do this? Come on.
Look at this fucking wimp. Look at this wimp. I hate this guy.
And then
You're not
someone
invited
else,
anymore, John. I throw him in the river.
somebody else is smelling the ink and is like, I don't know, this seems weird.
You seem weird.
So you're still there. You still have the opportunity, but it's risky now. You're at a point where you can push it. Nothing bad has happened. It's just
Right, we could back off now.
The stakes have been raised.
Backing off.
No,
Onward.
we pushed it.
Onward
The only
to
question is,
desperation.
Yeah.
No, I think definitely like we're like.
Yeah. Here's one manifestation of the stakes getting higher. That one of them is like, I don't know, this seems weird. This doesn't even smell like ink. And Linnea's like, let me smell that.
Yeah.
And then you like have to just go like
So let's do this.
I think my rejoinder here is like, yeah, you could totally be like, yeah, no, don't get the cool tattoos. That's fine. You could be just a total wuss your whole life. You could back upstairs and hang with Grandpa in the wheelchair. That'd be super fun, wouldn't it? I bet you'd love to do that. How about it, you two? Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. The party's waiting for you.
So that's exactly the stakes raising. Like, because now the possible consequences are like losing the opportunity or complications. So that reaction is perfect. You can be like, fine, we don't need you,
Yeah,
and
fuck you. Go hang out upstairs with
they'll
Colonel Stuffy Pants. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. They might call your bluff, or they might
obviously
be like,
you're not cool enough for these tattoos. So
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically you're gonna do it again,
Yes.
but it's a risky position instead of a dominant position. Once again, you may take devil's bargains or push yourself if you
I'm pushing it this time.
don't want to have a repeat of what just happened.
No, it's time. It's time for the convincing.
Enter, save us.
Yeah.
So when he's leading a group action, does this mean he takes stress for all of us?
He takes stress for all of you.
Give me all that stress. Just give it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we gave you 2 stress.
Yeah.
So,
So we all rolled the crap.
Thanks, nerds. All right, I have 4 more available to me after the two
All right.
piled on me.
The worst that can happen is you get another couple. So I say we roll. We ready?
No,
for this?
the worst has happened is if we roll terribly, it can backfire on us.
So who's gonna push and get bonus dice?
I'll take the extra die because I need to. The thing is, like, if the two of you give me 1 more stress apiece, that puts me to 10. If I take this too. If I don't, then I'm just like buffering for your failure. So.
Okay.
Nah, we'll roll good. Let's be ballsy.
All right. It worked great. It went great last time. All right, do it. Go. That's not much better. You're still cool. In 3 more rolls, you'll be good at this game. What do you got, Sean?
I haven't rolled yet.
Yeah, no, go ahead. That's fine.
Come on, no, just do it.
I'll take all the stress you got.
I don't care.
What else you got for me? Go.
Trauma.
Go. Just throw it down.
I don't want to put Cantor at trauma levels.
I don't even care. I am trauma, buddy. Let's go. Do
You
this.
know what
You can push yourself, John, and get it.
I'm gonna be like, look, this is where Cantor like does the like, look at my shit, like I got fucking coats, I got guns, I got 6 guns, I got a mask. Look, I'll do that whole bong of that purple shit right now, and it's like huge lungful. I'm like, I don't even care. What you got? It's fine.
Yeah.
My turn.
RC takes Cantor's lead, and like she's Oscar, you've already sort of established that you're like cool with this, with these inks already, right? Like this isn't something you've shied away from in the past, right?
I don't know. Have you noticed?
Well, here we go. I'm just like, I just snatched it out of Linnea's hands, and I'm like, check it out, look how awesome it is. And I think I'm gonna like pull back like Oscar's shirt and like fill in one of his like tattoos.
Oh well.
Well, that's how I'm explaining my 5. I pushed it. I got a good result. I'm showing him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
God,
let me roll the goddamn dice.
Come on, Adam. 6.
There it is. There it is.
And I'm sure that 6 is the one you pushed for.
Yeah, definitely. I would not.
So
I would have
does
gotten
that-
1 otherwise.
Does that put you at 8?
Okay, so how much stress do I get from you losers?
1.
1 each, so I get another 2.
No, just
No, no.
one.
Oh,
No, I
just
got
1.
5.
That puts me at 9. So I'm at 9 right now.
So 9 is the end of the track. 9 is full, and you get trauma.
Exactly.
Oh. Okay, well.
Yeah. That's the full.
I'm into it because trauma is a thing I can use to earn myself experience later.
That is true.
I mean, the trauma is probably that. Like, I'm trying. I'm such a fucking tryhard that I'm like, I don't even care. Look, I'll just whatever. What you got? You got your needle? Give me that thing. Boom, done. Now you got no more drugs. Throw it in the river. What else? Come on, you gonna be tough as me?
Yeah.
Like, it's very like over the top and like in their face and just like trying to be like weird and intimidating.
Yeah.
It's Cantor at his most Cantorness because it's that like shit, I'm losing them. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna throw myself on the grenade here and just like be
11.
Yeah, like as out there as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you clear your stress for one thing.
Yay.
Your trauma like takes you out of action, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think he's taken out. Like,
I just I probably like sit down and I'm like my heart's pounding. I'm all fucking sweaty. My pupils are all huge and I'm just like, see, I fucking told you. Let's get some tattoos. Come on, party's not over yet. Party's not over yet. Fuck it. Come on, somebody help me up.
Yeah, and Linnea
going.
She doesn't say anything, but she like sort of like takes the pipe out of your hand and passes it to someone else, and you can choose one of your trauma words as your new condition for your character. You don't have to do that right now, but
I'll take a look at it.
that'll be.
He's already. He's reckless. It's like it's
Or unstable.
Yeah, I feel like reckless or unstable. I mean, it depends, right? Because as a byproduct of everything, I could be also like paranoid or vicious too. So.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of already.
I think Oscar's already reckless, right?
Yeah, let's all be reckless together. No, I'm gonna take. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you don't have to right now. The upshot of all that, though, is that you succeed without complications, with great effect.
Hell yeah.
Which means, what extra benefit manifests? I think you win these kids as a new set of customers, and they are going to evangelize you to their friends.
Nice.
I think that's the extra benefit. You've created some new people to promote your wares beyond this group. So
a detail about how we're going to deliver them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that we probably don't like have to figure out in this party, but we would definitely have to figure out to do with this. Are they going to come to us, or are we going to come to them? Because it seems like it would make more sense for us to take a boat here and like meet them covertly here. I can't imagine them like slumming it in Crowsfoot, but
it's up to you guys. If whatever you tell them is the process, they'll do it. So you totally won them over, and you can.
We'll come up with something suitably secure. Oscar will see to it. Make sure that the protocols aren't gonna, let people catch us red-handed and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like the idea of using the boats because we have a boathouse.
We have a boathouse. They have a boathouse. Maybe we do it on a boat, in a boat.
It's conceivable you could arrange for a delivery service or something, which would be
party attendants.
That would definitely.
Books.
Yeah, concierge tattoo service, as someone said.
Thanks, Ronan.
Yeah, that and actually that's a potential extra market even. Like you've got them because it's cool, and they're just gonna show their friends their tattoos, and that's gonna create a secondary market. But then like if you come back and say it's door to door service, like that's a potential benefit. So
sure.
But that's probably a future thing.
Boathouse service.
So Cantor goes all in. He's like, party! And he just gets taken out by his own awesomeness.
Taken out by my own party. I'm the Andrew WK of this group.
It's something like the first night when you met Linnea, actually. You got wasted at the bar with Bergen, I think. And
exactly.
She ends up taking you back to her place to recover.
A perfect night. It worked out great.
Nice.
And obviously that's the score. You pulled it off. You got your new marker. But Strush, is there anything unusual going on with this tattooing? Is it a demonstration that you're performing, or are you doing something nefarious?
So like the way that I'm envisioning the product, and you guys feel free to chime in, is that our blacks, which are probably made with some water of the night sea kind of stuff, are probably just going to be tattoo ink kind of thing. It stays in you. It's real deep, looks nice, whatever. But the colors are where the drugs are in. So I think in particular, like if somebody gets like, I don't know, a monster of some sort, it has like a gold eye and like maybe like red scales or some shit, then that stuff will seep in. And you might actually be able to see it like go into people's eyes. Like their eyes will change like red and gold. And for a while, I'm not 100% sure, we can talk about this, like what the high is like. But it definitely changes perceptions, maybe lets them peer a little bit into like the attuned kind of space. And just kind of has like a trippy kind of good effect to it. And I'm sure that the different ink colors have different stories to them or whatever, but and then like over time the body processes this and then the colors will fade and they'll come back to get renewed, which is how the supply and demand will work. And you're just getting a tattoo, nothing illegal about that. So
yeah, and the quality is currently 1, so I'll do a fortune roll at some point and see how many of these kids whatever happens to them. But
keep in mind that we refined it, right? Like before it was like bad stuff, but now it's overindulged though.
The stakes are different. They're not the raw stuff was turning people into whatever that was happening, but this stuff is different.
It still is turning people into whatever.
That's still going on. You have a deal to deliver those bodies to Skurlock on the reg, so that's going on. But the refined stuff has different negative side effects. It doesn't turn people into demons. That's been sorted out, but it's a drug. It has some negative side effects, right? But I just wanted to be clear that you weren't doing anything like on the sly there, like I've infused the ink with whatever. You haven't done stuff like that. Okay, cool.
No.
All right. I
mean, we have a product. It's a good product. Let's just sell the product. This stuff sells itself. Sure. It's drugs.
Right.
It does. It sells itself. I mean, in that sense, it is like a cool drug. It's not, you get a high and it's also art, and like it has a lot of appeal to this audience especially. It's probably a tougher sell to the lower class because it's more expensive, and just give me the raw blood, that's fine. But to the nobility, like having a cool piece of art and stuff is more attractive.
Right. So. Well, it costs us more to produce, so it's not like you can't sell this for $10. Yeah, that's right.
One noble 20-something is probably worth a dozen raw blood customers. That big win, good job, score accomplished, and we would be like, okay, we're wrapping up. We're done. Except that we know that RC has unfinished business to do upstairs.
Yeah.
So in terms of time tonight, like, do you want to do that? Do you want to do that some kind of confrontation or something now? Or
I feel like it can be resolved pretty quick in like maybe like a roll or two. Like either we convince them or we don't.
I thought so too. I feel like we're at a masquerade party. This doesn't have to be like this big showdown. It could just be like, hey, I heard word.
But you're gonna maintain your anonymity during this interaction.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that's where the risk lies.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I feel like the only reason that this is going to be able to be resolved quickly is because I'm not going to be allowed to be involved.
Yeah, that's true.
So I was going to say, like, as the agent of chaos, like, there's no way that, like, if I saw you getting all like up in someone's face, and if it goes wrong for you, I'd probably like make it worse and do this whole thing.
That point
but I'm not here, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Please. I'm sorry.
No, it's perfect. You don't want me here for this.
I know.
I RKO'd myself, and now I'm gonna go get a beer, and you be a successful party for a minute. I'll be right.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Right. So like as we're like heading up, like when we leave these people in a stupor, I'm like, I just turned to Oscar, assuming you're coming with me.
Of course.
I'm like, the plan is simple. All we do is say that we've heard from other captains how hard it is to get good help, and how hard it is to keep good crew, and how unfortunate it is that that good man Harrington got pulled up on false charges. That magistrate should we just sort of basically let him overhear us say that. Because he's in a wheelchair, and we're like talking across him, like we don't notice him.
So this is like in Thief, where you overhear the two people walking down the hallway, but we're like rigging the scene.
Yeah, and
I
so
got you. That's awesome. Yeah.
So we just like make him think, oh shit, my guy's been unlawfully locked up. I'm gonna,
Yeah, but you're not even gonna talk to him. It's just you're just gossiping, and that's awesome. Cool move.
So that so we have to have that conversation as nobles or pretending to be.
I got that.
So cool. Unfortunately, I think I'm shitty at this because I'm pretty sure that what I'm describing is sway.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like sway.
I mean, I would go
pretty shitty at this too.
Yes, awesome.
But you know what we can do is push or take a harder stance and see what we can do.
Yeah.
So I think this is what's going to happen.
It's definitely not dominant. It's risky, at least because we know there's a risk of you being identified.
Right.
It's probably not desperate though. Like you're not like he hasn't cornered you, and you're like, no, who's RC? I don't know what you mean. Like that would be more desperate. This is more under your control, but it's still risky.
All right. So this is what we're doing, Sean. Are you willing to push? Because you're kind of the mastermind here.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm willing to push. I've got stress.
Great. This is a group action because you're leading, and so I'm going to take a stress and give you a die for assist.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm. You can do that.
Awesome.
Because if you push, you go from 0 to 1, and if I assist, you go to 2 dice. So we're going with 2 dice here.
Cool.
And then do you not have sway?
Nope.
Oscar. So you're still rolling 2 and taking the worst.
Yeah.
No. I'm just assisting. I'm just assisting RC.
It's not.
So I have already taken a stress. I mean, we're acting in concert as a team, so I have the chance to assist rather than.
Yeah.
I get you.
You've got to gasp at all the right times.
Instead of both of you rolling shitty, you're letting RC roll well, and you're staying out of it. You're helping, but you're not.
Yeah.
So what do you do to assist, Oscar?
I think I totally got it. I can't go through this party without being creepy for like 2 seconds. I think I'm going to shift the wind just enough that our words carry really well to your ears.
Nice. There's
it's
like
real subtle.
The murmuring susurrus of the party, and like your words just clearly carry right to his ear.
Yep.
That's great. Yeah,
That's so awesome. So that way we don't even have to stand like quite as close to. We don't have to be like so conspicuously close to him.
Yeah, you have your back to him. RC, you're like, tell me more about this Harrington person.
Yeah, right. All right. So if this doesn't work, I'm willing to push, but we'll see. All right, cool. So I'm gonna roll 2d6 and actually take the better of the two rather than the worst of the two. And I really can't see how this plan. Yeah, it's sway. That's what it is. We're rolling that. We're doing great. We're gonna kick ass. It's gonna be awesome. Okay. Well, that's not the worst.
It's a success with possible complications.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I'll take that. I like 4 or 5 results.
Risky complications. What is it gonna be? So the sway is gonna work. You're gonna plant the seed. And it works it's not mind control, right? Like it has an effect because we know that this guy cares about the people who work for him and has a reason to help them. So you're not forcing him to help the guy. What you're doing is you're making it sound like a good idea and, making it seem like it was his own idea and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
However, there's a consequence. Complication or desperate position are the ones that really make sense here. I
take a desperate position.
Okay. Well, did you have a desperate position in mind for something?
Well, I mean, one of the you were saying we're not in a desperate position because he hasn't like cornered me and been like, "Who are you and how do you know that?" And that could happen. I mean, he could hear it and be like, "Who are you and how do you know that? And what are you doing? Talking about?"
He could wheel over to you and like demand to know what you know. Like, yeah, that's totally true. That's a good point. Well, you tell me which one is more interesting for RC. So we could do that one, or I was thinking of starting a clock for Strathmill getting curious about Harrington and what he's really up to, and
and like figuring out what's going
instead
on.
of just like, oh, I have to help my man, like oh, what
I'll help my man, but I'm going to find out what's actually going on.
He doesn't just hand a bag of silver to his guy and say, pay his bail. He's like, bring him to me and we'll talk, kind of thing. But that's less directly. Like a
great complication. Can we say nope?
Yes, you can resist that complication, or you can resist his confrontation too. If you want to slip away before he confronts you, you can roll to resist that too. But I feel like it's up to you, Sean, like, because I know that you as a player like things to be a little more juicy. So whichever of those sounds more juicy for RC.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, they were like out of the frying pan and into the fire is I think the best thing here. Getting him out, but then having him under investigation for Strathmill, like, I feel like is gonna pull Strathmill towards us more and is gonna like give us some more like, it's way worse for Strathmill to know about us than it's just for a guy to be locked up. So I think the most obvious thing is the best thing here, which is like, yeah, he's gonna do it, but he's also gonna like investigate a little bit and figure out what, is any of this true? Post bail, presumably, but so yeah, I think RC would hate this, but I think the thing that makes the most sense and they'll be the best when it comes out is for him to be investigating this.
All right.
Cool.
Is that cool with you, Strush?
This is your role, man, and I love RP. So when things go south is when I come up with the most wacky plans.
Yeah. So
okay, so you have the option to resist this complication, but you're choosing not to.
Yeah.
Saving your stress for a rainy day and letting it happen. So cool. Yeah. So you planted the seed. You're fairly confident. You watch his reaction too. It's not just like, hey, we did it. Like, you can tell that he asks his steward a question, and you're like, okay, yeah, we got it.
Cool. And I think that's all RC thinks is going to happen at the moment. Like, she doesn't put two and two together that, oh shit, this is going to.
Yep.
Nice.
Cool. Well, that's fun. That gives me something to work with too.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. Nice criming.
This is crime with a bonus. I feel like we crimed and we
killed
with entanglements too.
We're a really good gang. We're good at crime. We crime to the best.
This is actually what we're supposed to be doing, is selling drugs.
We did it.
Go figure. We did the thing that we did, and we're good at. Yeah, weird.
And we cased a really nice joint.
And I got to piss off some stuffed shirts.
You got us this close to getting kicked out.
Got to hang out with my girlfriend. It was the best.
Yeah. No, but like that moxie of just like taking charge. Like, RC doesn't often look up to Cantor because she thinks his moxie is stupid, but like it's very clear to her that you saved the deal. Like
Cantor is like 100% reliant on me rolling well to see whether he's a fucking buffoon or a superhero. He doesn't know this. He doesn't know that I'm in charge of his life. But yeah, whether he's a complete asshole or not is
he'd be
totally
a total
dependent.
Asshole if he kept believing.
If I had failed a bunch of those rolls. Yeah,
right. But anyway, I think it's worth noting that like RC will like mention a few times, like, oh man, can't like, much as it might even kill her to say it, like, yeah, Cantor saved our asses. Like we lost it.
Cantor is like, he's like, if we were playing Shadowrun and I'm like, I'll play the face, everybody, and y'all make Street Samurais and fucking Deckers and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I just picked 12 skills at random. I don't know. I never played this game before. Whatever, I got 2 dice in this. Right? That's all right, cool. Whatever, let's do it.
2 dice is good in blades, right?
Like, he's just kind of all over the place, which is what makes
I can make that roll with 1 die.
Yeah. How does 1
Name
sound?
that die.
Is 1 good? How do role-playing games work, guys? I don't know.
Awesome. So should we
You want to do XP?
Yeah, let's do XP.
Let's do XP.
We did a thing.
XP. All right, RC.
Give me that XP.
I did not roll any desperate actions. I don't know. I sold them. Marcy's big sell was talking about violence and death. I don't know if she faced a tough challenge with violence or threats. I mean, I feel like I described violence, but I don't know if that was a tough challenge. It wasn't a tough challenge. It was like,
yeah, I don't think so. I think this was not really that sphere of action.
Yep, I agree. If my beliefs, drives, or heritage and background came out,
you should
yes.
take at least 2 for that.
I was going to say, can I have 2? Because this felt like she was steeped in it.
Yes, definitely take 2 for that.
Cool. And Mark, if issues with your vices or trauma, with issues from your vice or trauma during the session, I don't think so. I don't think
You don't have trauma.
Well, I don't have trauma, and I wasn't. Nobody had put.
Yeah, you didn't angle towards lovers here. Like we could imagine a situation where you could have kind of pursued that, maybe, but
I was thinking
it wasn't
about
that type of situation. So
yeah, I was thinking about making out with one of the young nobles, but it just
even
didn't. If I had, it wouldn't have been like my vice. That would have just been trying to manipulate him. So
yeah,
cool. Yeah. I'm good with 2.
2, and those 2 can go wherever you want, Sean.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw them in prowess because it's close to bumping up.
I'm gonna write these down because every time we play,
every time we play on whatever week that is.
Yeah,
5 to 6 weeks from now.
I have to watch the video just for XP, so I'm gonna write it down tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, it's okay. By the time we play next time, someone or someone's will have made a Roll20 character sheet for us. We'll just keep track of it in there.
So nice, yeah.
And it'll all be in one place.
That'll be really cool. Whoever said that in chat, I should know your name, but I already forgot. Thank you ahead of time. Adam.
I think I'm probably pretty low on the
desperate action
XP scale. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. So are the desperate actions that you roll, do you get experience tied directly to the ability that you're rolling? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So do we remember what my desperate action was? I don't think I made a note of it.
It was finesse.
Was it finesse? Okay.
Yeah.
That gives you
perfect. That ups me for
you're
prowess.
+1 prowess. Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for. Okay.
Perfect.
All
wow,
right.
that worked out, huh?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So my prowess bumps over. So that means I need to take another dot in something, right?
Yeah.
In the prowess section, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll probably take skirmish or finesse. Probably skirmish, but we'll figure that out between sessions.
Yeah.
So take a dot there. Also for character sheet stuff, my stress drops to 0. I'm gonna take unstable for my trauma.
Nice.
Because I feel like unstable will give me it'll be, my character's already kind of a bananas weirdo, so struggling with issues from my vice or traumas will be easier later when I'm unstable, because then I can just blame it on my trauma.
Hey, it's not me.
It's not me, it's my trauma. I'm unstable now. I shouldn't have done all those drugs in that weird basement.
Oh, also, because this came up on the forum, you lose all your stress, you take a trauma, then you come back into play during downtime after the vice phase, so you don't have to show up and immediately satisfy your vice. Like you get a pass on the next phase of vice,
right?
Because otherwise you get like screwed over with like, I'm back. Oh, now I overindulge. Oh shit, now
So you'd say this phase it's an idle vice.
I'm gonna need you to turn in your character sheet.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't.
Oh god.
Just put it in the mail.
It's not me. It's my trauma.
Just burn it. You're unstable. We understand.
I'm gonna start making tearing motions, and I'll just wait.
Yeah. So,
okay, so you did not address a challenge with violence or threats.
No, I did not.
End of session. Beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I mean, for that stuff, I feel like I was kind of on mission, but mostly I was like, let me hit on my girlfriend.
Yeah, I think,
and like the orphanage trash thing, and the I'm in a weird place. I'm trying to prove myself to people that don't give a shit about me. Yeah, I'll take
+2 for drive for sure.
Okay, I'll take 2 for that.
I mean, that was a big show in a very public situation that could have gone super wrong. So
yeah,
totally. Okay, cool. Word.
And then no vice or traumas tonight, really. That we talked about that last week about Cantor accidentally wandering into the coat room of the house and like being overcome by his vice, just like
rolling around in the coats.
Rolling around in the coats. We're trying to do a score. Leave me alone. I'm with the coats now, Marge. Yeah, so none of that. All right.
Yeah, none of that.
And those 2 XP can go wherever you want. Adam, you can put them.
Okay. Cool.
Anywhere.
I will assign them at some point.
And then Strash. Desperate actions. I don't think. Did you? No.
No, none.
Arcane power or knowledge. Yeah. At least one.
Yep.
I
think
that what was going. Well, you saw that something was going on with Satara and Scarlock at the party, which was pretty important. So, was there another one that you were thinking of?
I think I was about to suggest that a number of problems I handled with not well. Also, shifting my words around, but I didn't roll for that, so let's not worry about that. I think the knowledge is going to come out actually in my heritage and background. I think that there was a lot of that here, right? Like I am showing myself in high society. I am putting my name out there. And also, a lot of this was about me playing damage control on these other 2. And essentially, but like it's less about the gang's purpose and it's more about making sure that they fit in this place. And even if they don't realize it, maybe learn a little bit of the steps necessary to do business in this category.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that it's necessary. Like I know this stuff, so I'm trying to teach them in a way, but I don't think it's knowledge. I think that's the next section. So I'll take 1 from the address a tough challenge with arcane power.
Okay.
And then we can talk about.
And then so I think definitely you get 1 from heritage here, right? Because this whole score revolved around that. You leveraged your nobility and put yourself in the public eye, by name and all that. So you should definitely get XP for that.
But I also, seeing Satara, interacting with her, and Lord Skurlock and other stuff is kind of my background. So, I don't know. Maybe one more XP for that?
Yeah, sure. That's fine with me. I think that's totally accurate. Yeah.
All right. So, is that 2 or 3 total?
I have 3 so far.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. And the crew.
The crew is gonna make out well.
Yeah.
We didn't do like we only got 2 or 3 XP, but the crew I think is gonna
attract customers.
The crew's only 1 away from leveling up too.
Yep.
Right.
But we're gonna get it rolls over, so we're just gonna get what we get.
It rolls over, yeah. So you attracted customers and sold contraband, so that's 2.
Yeah.
Improve your product's quality, variety, or prestige. I would argue prestige here, because it went so well and you set up with your great effect, that they're gonna tell their friends kind of thing. So that's prestige to me.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. And I think we developed, I don't mean to double dip here, but I think we developed a new reputation, which
I totally agree.
Like, we're now the Six Towers gang fucking thugs, and also we're the Six Tower gang's purveyor of fine tattoos.
Yeah, because you're repping the underworld.
Clientele.
Yeah.
Yeah, your underworld rep is, if you mess with them, they murder you and put you in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, right.
And now you have a totally different rep with rich people
that are completely different.
Yeah.
Do we contend with challenges above our current station?
Yeah.
This is like a tier 5, 4, whatever.
Yeah, 4. Yeah. Totally.
Nice.
So that is 5 XP.
6.
Oh yeah. Sorry, 6 XP for the crew.
6. Okay. So yeah, that rolls us over and then some. I like it almost. Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, that rolls you over.
And it leaves us with 5 remaining.
When you roll over, you get to choose a new special ability or 2 crew upgrades, which we can work out. We don't have to necessarily sort that out right now. But the other thing that happens immediately is you guys get to take a cut out of the operation every time this happens. You get paid.
Nice.
And I forget what it is. It's your tier +1 or something like that, I think. It's basically the crew's doing well enough now where you can actually pull some money out of it for your own use. You get 1 coin plus 2 per tier.
We have 3 coins.
So that will be 3 coin total for each of you personally.
Nice.
Oh my God, never done this. Ursi's gonna take one of those and put 2 in the stash.
Yeah, and the stash does something. We haven't really talked about it because you haven't been getting there yet, but every complete line of stash you have is like a lifestyle level. So when you have 1 full set of 10 coins
That's
stashed
why
away,
the last one is like a box rather than
like Cantor, you can have your nice clothes
I'm gonna
like
spend
for good when you get there, and then every row you fill, your
I'm gonna
lifestyle
spend
gets
all
better
my
and
experience points on improving Cantor's stash. I'm gonna look like Burt Reynolds by the beginning of the next session. It's gonna be sweet.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I'm
And you
gonna warn you
can also
guys.
take coin out of stash now, which you didn't used to be able to do.
So there's
okay.
going to
It's-
be but it's 2 for 1. It's bad.
It's 2 for 1. It is bad, but
So the only thing I want to say is be aware that if we're trying to level up our gang to level 2, which was the goal of this job, and we should be getting the rep and everything, no problem. Once we get around to that for next session, in order to level up our gang, we need to pay 8 coin because we're going to tier 2.
Yeah,
Some of
man, it'd
the-
be great if we still had some coin left over. From
So-
We will get
previous
coin from
missions.
this job, and then we will get coin
Yeah,
from
That's fine.
one of our curves, vice stands.
yes, you're gonna make coin from this. It'll be pretty
But the
good.
difference is going to be on us because we don't have a vault.
Right. Right.
Also, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a break, like a 25% discount or something, because you started with rules that didn't cost as much to go up,
Right.
and so you planned for a certain cost to go up, and that cost basically doubled. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of a break and not be like, hey, surprise, it's twice as much.
Hey, surprise! I just
Whoa!
redesigned the game so you lose.
Right.
Now 6s made your characters
Yeah,
die.
it turns out if you roll a 6, well, heart attack.
Plus,
Go
we don't
figure.
play super often.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So, like
Yeah.
advancing a little quicker is okay. It's fine.
And Shush, I already had 1 coin not in the stash, so now I still have 2 coins personal free. So I'm not like throwing
Okay.
out
Nice.
Yeah.
So we
I'll send a message. It's gonna be. I mean, this job is gonna. It's gonna be at least 4, I think. So
What's more important than anything else is the fact that we generated virtually no heat.
yes, that is true.
Yeah.
This is the lowest end of the heat scale, which is hard to. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that. But that did happen. We all just watched it happen.
we didn't
Cantor
screw
shot
up.
nobody.
Yeah, this is the most in control I've ever been in an session.
Yeah.
We
Like,
didn't get kicked out.
it could have
Yeah,
gone. Listen, it could have gone a lot of different ways. We just rolled really well early on and managed to avoid all the really intense stuff, and then had room to get weird later, which was nice. Like there was lots of kind of intense stuff at the beginning that we managed to kind of avoid and divest ourselves of, which I think we did a good job.
I think it's 2 actually. It's 1. It's smooth and quiet, low exposure, 1 heat, and then plus 1 heat if the target is high profile and well connected.
I mean, I think this is ultimately the real plan. You want me to just blow out early and then do all the subtle stuff after I'm unconscious or whatever, and then move on. It'll be fine.
Right.
It worked out great.
Just trauma Cantor out at the,
Yeah, just
at the
trauma me out
climax
at
of
the
every score.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Mr. T on the A team. You just you give him
Give
the
him a
milk.
glass of milk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Perfect.
fine. It's fine.
Nice. Yeah. So we're only at 2 heat because we had just gone to wanted last time. So
Yep. 2 heat. Probably.
Yeah, we didn't kill anyone.
Go ahead. I'll just tell you how much coin. It's easy to figure out.
Yeah, and how much rep? Because it was a high
4.
tier. 4 rep.
4
So
rep,
that-
guys. 4
so
rep.
4 rep pushes us over. We only need 1 rep to gain.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, you're poised to be either tier 2, which I think is what you're going for, or to raise your hold to strong or firm rather.
Well, don't you have? Oh, I'm sorry. Don't you have to go through weak, firm, strong before you raise up tier?
Nope.
You can just jump tier and then
You can
hope
just
you
be,
hold
I
on.
think
you just
it's
be
if
weak
somebody is
and
if
hope
somebody
nothing bad
assaults it,
happens.
exactly. But with 4 rep, we go. We may be tier 2, and then we're just gonna dump the rep in, and then we can firm ourselves up and deal with our fallouts and whatnot.
Sure, that'll work.
This to me feels like it's not a standard score, but it's not a major score. So I think right between is 7 coin.
Not bad.
I feel like that's pretty right.
Right, and we're gonna have to spend 6 to go up to the next tier.
Yeah. So,
Can we just do that, or do we have to make a score to go up to the next tier? I thought last time we had to.
The tier rules changed.
yeah, they changed. Yeah, you can just do it.
Cool. So let's just mark it at 1 coin.
I like again how this is where the passive voice comes in. Like, they just changed mysteriously. What happened? Who even knows? Who designs a game anyway?
Coin was spent.
It just happened. Coin
Rules
was
were
spent.
changed.
Rules were changed. They are changed
Right.
now.
So I'm marking on the sheet that we're now tier 2. We have 3 rep, and we have 1 coin left over after spending.
Tier 2, 3 rep, 1 coin that's the fallout.
As a point of note, at the end of downtime, we'll get money from our vice stands. So if
Yeah, and
we
we can do downtime at the beginning or
And
That's what I
next
mean.
time.
2 heat.
Yeah.
Tier
Word.
2 heat, 3 coin.
No, we only have 1.
Sorry, 1 coin and 3 rep.
3 rep, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to write the stuff down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 months from now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in April we won't remember these things.
So, yeah,
wow,
we should
yeah,
have-
that's. I mean, yeah, you are skating on thin ice with the weak hold on tier 2, but it makes sense in the fiction too. Like, you guys went for it with the high class target, pulled it off. You didn't let your personal business fuck up the score.
That's the dice. The dice get credit for that, not us.
Yeah.
And you decided to charge up to a bigger tier of action and just
Right, we stepped up.
Coming up in the
take your
world.
chances.
Sweet,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Why do we play so often? Because we have crazy schedules, and it's really hard to
Say,
get
some
us
of
all
us are busy project managing things and designing shit and streaming video games.
and we're
so.
all making a playset for this.
Yeah. So I guess that was the thing I wanted to use as our opportunity for an outro, because John and I did a little sit down where we talked about hacking the game in general, but then before this session I realized everyone in the session is making a new playset for the game. So I think it'd be really cool to just give everybody a second to talk about the playset that they're doing, because I know I'm excited about mine and I'm excited about you nerds and yours. So Sean, do you want to start? Tell us about the Blades in the Dark contribution you're making, because I've been watching you. I'm watching you make it.
You've
I'm
been watching
excited.
me? Well, I watched that video with you and John.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It actually sent me back to the drawing board on some things. I'm making the Vigilantes playset, which is going to be in Duskwall. It's going to be a core setting. The playset is based on Blades being horrible people and someone actually giving a shit and doing something about it. It's the anti-Blades playset. The situation in it is taking down the Six Towers gang. And there are a few setups, a few contingencies for why somebody would actually care in Duskwall. Because Duskwall isn't a place that breeds Oliver Queens and Bruce Waynes. There aren't people from lofty towers that can decide on a whim. You've got to be pressed pretty hard. And so the reason to become a vigilante and the reason to stay a vigilante are pretty extreme.
You're not Batman, you're Rorschach, right?
Yeah, exactly. You might be Blue Coat who decided you want to be a real police. You might really just be kind of a mob family that's calling yourself a vigilante, or you might be Ra's al Ghul who just wants to burn all Duskwall down in an attempt to clean it. So that's my jam, and I've got the draft of it posted right now, and we're still hacking through it, but it's coming along.
Yeah, everything I've seen of it, it looks like it's going to be really fun. I love how many of the hacks are not just we're going to do this game, but with the space or whatever. It's we're going to expand the existing universe so that you can do that thing where you're we're going to play a gang for a little while. Okay, so while that's happening, we're tired of that. Let's go play a different thing. But it's in the same setting, so you can really build a very cool universe.
Yeah. And
cool.
John, and when you guys were talking about like the poetry layer, a lot of Vigilantes is about changing the poetry layer. It's like mechanics are very similar, but it's the things you do in the narrative, and hopefully that interacts with Blades. I'd love to see Vigilantes being played as sort of opposite Blades, but I can dream.
Yeah, and there's some cool mechanical stuff too that Sean's doing. That I don't know if you want to mention anything, Sean. I have a kind of favorite little gimmick.
Sure.
That came up from very early conversations about it. Like, oh well, they're not like stealing stuff and getting paid and all that. Like, so what's the deal? And so Sean has a move. It looks like on the recent draft, do you get it by default? Is it?
Yeah. It's the default move every Vigilante crew.
Every Vigilante crew gets it, and it lets you spend your rep as if it was coin because you have this relationship with the community, and so like they will provide stuff for you because you have this rep with them, and I think that's so great.
social currency. That's such a cool idea.
It's the Kickstarter of Blades.
Yeah,
Blade starter.
Just that one inversion. Oh, and also you get when you do a job, you get rep primarily instead of coin. It's like it's flipped around.
Right.
It's such a simple change, but it totally changes how you play that crew. It changes what it means to be Vigilantes and what you get out of it. And
I feel like that's a really cool thing about a lot of the hacks that are getting built is that they take one core thing and are like, yeah, but what if this? What if it was different?
Mm-hmm.
For some of them, like for me, like Womb, mine primarily is like, yeah, but what if it wasn't one place? What if it was like a ton of places? What if it was a near infinite number of places rather than like a closed environment?
The crazy thing that's awesome about that is you're still keeping that kind of tension. Like part of the way Duskwall works is because you're literally physically trapped within walls, and so the fact that you've got Womb, like it's a bazillion places, but you still have there's still factions and there's still all that like tension. Like you can't disappear in the universe, or if you can, like that's kind of the equivalent of like hiding out in a shack. Like you gotta come back out.
Well, obviously, what we need to do with at least the four of us is that like whenever the hacks are like done and released, is to sit down and do like a postmortem and be like, let's talk about them and the details and how they're different, because I think that would be really cool.
That'd be fun.
Strash, you're doing at least one. Do you want to tell us about yours a little bit?
So one of the things that I realized is that I can't work on them all at the same time, even though I find out things about how to hack Blades and then I make notes for further on. So I think actually what's interesting is that two of them are going to be in the same setting. And the first one that I'm working on is called Scum and Villainy. And it's a space opera kind of seat of your pants, scoundrels and spaceships, and lots of scores and heists in space. And Adam and Sean and John have actually seen some of the stuff that I've put up. The playbooks are getting towards at least being version 1. The thing that that slowed it down a little bit is I'm not doing crew sheets where you're like thieves. I'm doing crew sheets as in you get a ship and you're the crew on a ship. So what kind of scoundrel gang you are is based on your ship. So there's like a smuggling type ship, and there's a bounty hunting type ship, and a pirate ship, and so it takes place in. I haven't named the sector yet, but you're in a sector of space that's on the outskirts of this really powerful galactic empire called the Hegemony, and essentially it's exactly like the turf in Blades, in that the empire has pushed out enough that in this sector. All the pieces are already taken. Everybody has their slice of the pie, and you're sort of weaving between them. And so yeah, that's it's going to be blasters and space mystics and ancient alien artifacts and weird alien creatures chasing you and that sort of stuff.
Cool.
Dig it.
Nice, yeah, and two others.
Yes, I will be just to give the one-line pitch. The other two is going to be Band of Blades, which is essentially like the Black Company books. You're playing legionnaires in the losing side of a pretty grimdark war, where the Cinder King is essentially trying to destroy living people and convert them to undead under his command. And you're standing against them. And it's actually interesting because it's actually played on fronts. There are like 4 fronts, and you roll things that are going on everywhere. So the Legion, which you're part of, may be moving to different places to try and defend them. And stuff like that. It's very dark fantasy, lots of demons possessing people and whatnot. And the last one is I'll be working on Throne of the Void, but that's down the road, which is actually where you actually play inside the hegemony. And instead of playing crew sheets, you're supporting like one of the factions. So you're supporting a noble house, you're supporting a guild, and you're fighting against the other factions directly. It's almost like you're constantly in a state of war, and you're essentially trying to make some allies, but they'll probably backstab you. And also there are people within your own faction that are trying to take you out because they're trying to tier up and sort of push you down to like the crappier jobs and take away your status and whatnot. So that'll be... it's a little bit Dune-esque, but it's less like Dune-esque in the weird, awesome, trippy Jodorowsky sense, and more Dune-esque in the like noble houses and giant political machinations.
Yeah, and if you want that Jodorowsky jam, that's where Woomanite comes in. So yeah, so Woom is gonna be all space pterodactyls and fucking giant bong ships. It's gonna be weird. I'm really excited about it.
It's gonna be great.
I love how flexible the system is. That like once we've boiled down to, and again, if you want to watch John and I talk for 2 hours about this, go to my YouTube channel, watch that video. But basically, it just boils it down to like a crew of people trying to get up in the world. In a world that doesn't want them to do that for whatever reason, and there's all kinds of like stuff that you can do around that. So I mean my the one that I'm personally like the most excited about is the fucking Cyberpunk one, John, because I want it so bad, so I never have to play Shadowrun again.
It's called Null Vector, and because that sounds cool.
Because that's a cool thing to say.
And yeah, I created it last summer, or no, before that actually. I don't even know. It's over a year ago, I think. It was towards the end of playtesting for the sort of 1.0 pre-Kickstarter version of Blades. It's one of the last playtests that we actually playtested, and it went really well. It was really fun, and it was very, very Ghost in the Shell was my main touchstone for it, which I still was like one of my favorite things. But since then, the game has changed a fair bit. And also, I've been exposed, thanks to Kira Magran and some other people, Austin Walker and some people like that. I've really started to think about cyberpunk more deeply than just like, it's cool. There's cyberware and guns and corporations, like kind of getting deeper into the ideas behind it, and also moving away from William Gibson a little bit, which is kind of one of my touchstones, into a more modern take on cyberpunk. And so I'm really excited to kind of get back into it with a fresh eye and do something a little more transhuman, a little more influenced by some modern fiction like Ex Machina and just, I don't know, stuff in that kind of space. But it's definitely still going to be in the Blades mold. Like it's gritty and violent primarily. It's not the real transhuman, like, you know, esoteric poetic stuff. But yeah, I'm excited because I feel like one of the great things about hacking a game or making any kind of role-playing game is like learning about a type of fiction or making up your own and like developing a vision for your particular take of what that is, and then expressing it through game mechanics and some words and fiction and writing. And so at this point, I don't know what my vision of cyberpunk is, and I'm really excited to like start making it and see what it is and find out what it is. But in concert with that, yes, as I've told everybody, there will be Shadowrun character sheets, which I've pretty much already made, and some simple Shadowrun magic conversion rules, so that everyone gets my weird vision of whatever cyberpunk is. Also unofficially,
here's Shadowrun. Yeah, well, that's what Tech Noir did that a little bit too, right? With Hex Noir, where they're like, Jeremy was like, I know you just want to play Shadowrun, so here's some magic.
Everyone wants to use Blades to play Shadowrun, so I'm definitely going to give you all the stuff you need. I just can't sell it, so I'm going to make my thing, and then I'll give you the Shadowrun stuff.
Damn IP loss. Yeah.
John, I think it's so cool for you, especially as a creator, to say like, I'm not sure what my vision of this is, so I'm going to start like iterating through it and seeing where that goes, because I think for me that's been a major stumbling block of like, I have to figure out exactly what vigilantes are like, and I think that can be really tricky for a lot of people getting into writing hacks, is they start with like this one idea and then they realize, oh, but I haven't thought about all these other things, and now I've got to like explore that. And rather than be daunted by it or feel like I failed because I don't know this thing about my setting, see it as an opportunity to learn and discover and decide what.
Well, and that's the thing. All you're really doing is giving the people who are playing a toolkit for being like, this is what I think it will be like, and actual play and play testing will come around and be like, this is how it was. Is that cyberpunk to you? And then you can be like, oh, I see where I'm like putting too much emphasis on this thing or the other thing. So,
and like we said in our chat too, like, and to all game hackers and designers out there, like, give yourself permission to make it your thing, and you don't really need to care if it's really cyberpunk or if it's really dark fantasy or whatever. Like, make it whatever your thing is, just make it that, because that's more exciting than anything else.
So there's what's the total count right now for the Kickstarter? It's like a dozen or more.
Yeah, I think there's around a dozen that were mentioned on the Kickstarter, and there's another maybe 3-ish or 4-ish that kind of aren't accounted in that list.
So for folks who want to check out more stuff about Blades in the Dark, the best place to probably do that if you want to have a conversation about it is Google+. There's a community for Blades in the Dark there.
Thriving.
I said the other day to somebody, I can't remember where I was talking about role-playing games. Oh, I was doing an interview, and I was talking about role-playing games and about social media. And I was like, so weirdly, Google Plus, not popular for anything except tabletop role-playing game designers. So we've taken that space over, and if it ever goes away, Sage will probably be torn into 1,000 small pieces by angry
It's actually
game design nerds.
really popular for photographers because they have excellent photo sharing and huge photo displays and things that are tied to photography. So I know a lot of like dog and pet owners have like
So there you go. If you want to design a role-playing game about pet photography, Google Plus is the place for you. There's a community there for that, and then also if you want to play the game, if you want to go check it out in its current state, Drive-Thru RPG has the sort of pre-release version you can pick up, and you'll get the finished version as it comes out. This show, if this is your first episode tuning in, which it very well might be, you can check out the whole rest of the series over at John's YouTube channel, which is Feng17. John?
Yeah, if you search for John Harper on YouTube, my channel comes up.
The ! Blades command, if you're watching this in Twitch chat, will grab you all the pertinent links. And then also John and I did a talk about if you're interested in hacking Blades in the Dark, if you like the idea of making your own setting or stuff for this game, you can check out a talk that we did together over on my channel. Otherwise, that is, I think, for the evening, for us.
I've got one request. Somebody just texted me a request, and they wanted to see the new puppy.
Here's Sean's tiny dog.
Here's my little doggy. He's a dog. Damn it, Ripley 12s. You know?
Too pet.
Yeah, he's pretty darn sweet. All he wants to do is sit in laps.
That's
all the time, which is the best.
So if you're, I was thinking, if you're watching this and it's previous to the summer of 2016, and you're in the vicinity, Go Play Northwest tickets have gone on sale. So, John, I want to play that cyberpunk version of this game at Go Play. Make it happen for
me. Yeah, we will definitely be doing that.
So that's a con that is worth checking out in the Pacific Northwest if you are local to that region.
Very cool.
It's a con that's focused entirely on playing games. There's no vendors, there's no exhibit hall or anything. It's just a bunch of people, bunch of tables, play games for the weekend, and it's super fun.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for playing, my friends. We will reconvene again when the stars are right and we can make bank for the clan. It's always a pleasure. I love playing games with you guys.
Yeah. Super fun.
We will see all of y'all next time, I suppose.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.